WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, good Tuesday morning, and it's going to be another. I got to say that Ray is saying we're only going to get to 65, but the National Weather Service for us says 73.
So
I'll take 65, to be honest with you.
Really?
We'll be in the upper 50s today, and then basically upper 60s to low 70s tomorrow. That's what I'll say.
It's going to be nice. I think after all the suffering that we went through since the 1st of January, where we were literally getting snow every other day, this is welcome. This is nice.
Yet in the North Country, I cannot believe where we're at, the snow is almost, if not completely gone. In the North Country, they're still battling it. Davey, you said even at your place, and you got more snow than the rest of us got.
Yeah, I still have banks on the side of our snow banks, not high, but there's still snow there.
I had on both sides of my driveway, I had a 5-foot bank, pile of snow, basically. And there may be maybe an inch left of it. It'll be gone today. It's just incredible.
I think
the snow went.
By today and tomorrow they'll be gone.
Yeah. However, in the North Country, it still remains melting because there was so much snow. So flooding becomes an issue, and as Megan reported in the news, that area along River Road in Oriskany, that area is still getting flooding, and you're asked to avoid and get an alternate route and avoid that area.
Yes, and if there are any other road closures or road floodings in your area, please let us know on the WIBX mobile app or giving us a shout on the YouTube live stream. We'll see it and we'll spread the word.
Let's see. I got a lot of there's a lot of stuff to get to here today. We'll talk to Tanya Powers, where there's a partnership between a New York hospital and an Israeli hospital. We'll explain what that means. You know, there's also a story that you had about getting rid of tumors. There's another story at Sloan Kettering in New York where they're doing a study using immunotherapy. There have been some 60 patients as part of the trial, and this is mainly for people with a tumor with possibly something like colon cancer. And in 60 patients, the immunotherapy, without surgery, without chemo, without radiation, the immunotherapy has shrunk and eliminated the tumor in 100% of the people.
That's awesome news.
That is
chemotherapy is brutal.
It's like a miracle study. So right now it's still early. There have only been about 60 patients as part of the trial, but when you can get 100% success rate,
yes,
that's pretty unheard of.
It's like a lot of prayers are being answered.
Things seem to be happening in that world. The astronauts that were stuck on the International Space Station, I watched a little of this the other day. It's just incredible how the rockets separate from the actual chip, and the rocket comes down and lands right back at the liftoff spot. Incredible. However, we still use the water when we're bringing the astronauts home, and they're on their way. And I believe it'll be later tonight. They left last night or early this morning, and I think it's about 16, 17-hour trip.
Yes. Did you see the rocket go over central New York on Saturday night?
That I did not see.
Yeah, so it went over. I got a call from my parents as it was going over Shoreline, Connecticut.
Someone said that. I thought they were just saying they were singing the national anthem. Rockets, red glare, boom, over the skies.
Oh, it was the Rockets blue flare that people got to see.
Yeah, I did. I guess I didn't see that. You did?
No, I looked. I had too much light pollution. I thought I saw a satellite, so I chalked it up to, you know what? That's it. You know what? Good job, Elon. And then I went back to bed.
What else? We'll speak with Ryan Schmelz in a few minutes. Trump taking a jab at Biden over the auto pen signature, those those January 6 committee members that received a pardon. Trump says they're null and void. The other issue that's going to be really something to keep an eye on is the president and the administration ignoring judicial rules. When a judge makes an order, it's pretty much expected that we will follow that order. The question is, when it came to deporting these Venezuelans, did the president defy a federal judge's order? If that is the case, it's what everybody warned would be buckle up is all I'm saying. It's what everybody warned would be the constitutional crisis. Right now it is in debate. They're saying, well, the planes were already off the ground. The judge said, well, that didn't matter. That means they should turn around. We didn't understand it that way. So there's some ambiguity in this right now, but we'll see where it ends up going.
It's like as Alanis Morissette famously sang, it's like a death row pardon 2 minutes too late.
Dr. Kent Hall is on this morning, and we've got a bunch to talk to him about. Hobica's free money question of the day. That situation with the puppy that was dropped off and left last week at the Rome Humane Society. We'll speak with Robin Kaminsky at the Humane Society of Rome on that. Anthony Constantino. He is that guy from down Amsterdam way, that Schenectady area, where he's vying for the seat held by Elise Stefanik. Now, again, she is still not stepped down, and I'm wondering at what point will that seat finally open up, and will we have because the governor cannot, rules go into effect the moment Elise Stefanik exits that seat. By now, we thought we would have a special election scheduled.
Hudson Valley is having its special elections today.
Well, again, it depends on when Stefanik steps aside.
Yeah.
Really interesting to watch. I thought it would be done by now. Joe Rakowski is, I believe, what I'm hearing, the leading candidate, at least in Oneida and Herkimer County. He is a businessman in Rome. But we'll speak with Constantino, who spent a lot of money in commercials. We'll speak with him a little later on this morning. So there you go. That's a busy morning for you.
It'll be interesting to get his perspective of why there is that delay in that special election for Stefanik.
I can't get anybody to answer that.
Maybe he will.
We'll find out. I thought it was quite interesting. Yesterday, Harvard announced that I saw two different stories. One said 200,000, the other said 100,000. But the story I have this morning says tuition at Harvard will be free if your family makes under $100,000.
Huh, that's odd. Yeah, because I saw reports that it was $200,000, which would make sense for a combined family. But
wait a minute. The headline says Harvard will be free for students whose families make $100,000 or less. And then the story, first line in the story says, expanded financial aid plan will also offer free tuition to families that make $200,000 or less.
I wonder if Harvard came out and got their numbers wrong, because I have it right here in my report. The school is eliminating tuition for students from families earning up to $200,000
Well, that's what I'm
annually.
saying. I think there's a discrepancy in the story.
I'm looking it up.
The headline says 100,000, yet they go further to say the expanded so it must be a combination of that and financial aid, which will mean families that make less than 200,000 will get free tuition. Pretty wild. I also I thought this yesterday. County Executive Anthony Pacini announced they are moving forward, and they are going to begin hiring any of the corrections officers, or at the very least interviewing, and those prospects that they find to be worthy of hiring, they're hiring them, despite what the governor says. So they're planning to sue. I cannot imagine that the state will fight this. If they do, I can't imagine how they could win. How do you prevent these people from working? If somebody wants to, somebody within government wants to hire them, I can see maybe saying, well, you're not going to work for the state prison system because you left on bad terms. I understand that. But to say no other job within government in New York State can be taken. I don't know that flies.
That sets up a dangerous precedent because you're taking the decision-making powers away from the employer who would make those decisions whether to hire someone if they fit the culture, if they have a clean record. But now you're having a government agency saying, no, not at all. So where else could that apply? And that could possibly start a slippery slope elsewhere, because if New York sets the standard and it is upheld in the courts, what's that going to mean for areas, let's say, in the South or in the Midwest?
Well, it would have to go all the way to the Supreme Court to mean anything for them. However, for us, I just don't think it flies. And Pacetti said they will begin, once they file their lawsuit, they'll begin hiring people here. Next step in the village of Herkimer, in this dispute between the village, they want the property that the Baslow Library is located on, and Baslow Library. In February, this is a KTV story, the library took legal action against the village, filing suit in Supreme Court, Herkimer County Supreme Court. At Monday's village board meeting, the attorney announced that the court has set a conference date for April 14th. The judge hearing the case specified that only attorneys for the two sides would be present. The village raised the rent. So basically, they would remove them by just raising rent that the library can't afford. They raised the rent when the lease expired, with the board noting that the village taxpayers bear the expense of the library, but say they will no more. Mayor Dana Sherry says the village had the library appraised and the village just wants its fair share of the rent. Quote to KTV, their lease was up in December. They're still in the building. We haven't thrown them out. It's just unfortunate they tried to flip the narrative on the village, and it's not true. They've just got a lot of people angry over nothing. I don't know that that's true, because we spoke with them, and when you raise the rent at such a high rate, how are they supposed to? My guess is they struggle to begin with. How are they supposed to afford that?
Libraries nationwide are struggling. So I can imagine the same as for Herkimer.
Yeah, I don't know where that is going, but the court hearing will come up on the 14th of April. Also, grand jury. And it's interesting that the special prosecutor, who was the DA from Onondaga County, said, it's interesting if you read the story. I'm pretty sure, and there's a couple conflicting stories out there today. I'm pretty sure the DA said, we do not know what the cause of death was in that second inmate. And the investigation will continue. They'll dig into it. It may be revealed at the grand jury. Hopefully it'll be revealed at the grand jury. But as of right now, I don't think they know the cause of death in that second inmate, Messiah Nantwi, the inmate at Midstate Correctional Facility, who passed away at Wynn Hospital on March 1st. Governor Hochul has placed 15 staff members on leave. State Attorney General's office recused itself from the investigation, and the Onondaga prosecutor, Bill Fitzpatrick, is now the special prosecutor there. He said the cause of death will be addressed following grand jury proceedings, and that the case is set to be presented to a grand jury early in April. Here's the other part of this. There are no videos. They don't have videos in this.
We just have Nantwi's family, who is saying that he was beaten much like Robert Brooks. But again, that's what his family is saying. We can't confirm that. But I think they need to come out with a cause of death. Otherwise, you're allowing the narrative to be told by other people who, while connected to the case, they weren't there.
Well, you're going to need the cause of death. It's interesting. On the subways in New York City, there is a billboard right now that says prison walls are graves. And it reads, on December 9th, 2024, Robert Brooks died at Midstate Correctional Facility in Marcy. He was severely beaten by corrections officers and succumbed to his injuries. That's how they're taking out billboards that are, and these are most likely the people that are asking for these prisons, two in particular, Midstate and Marcy, to be closed down. Yeah. President Trump saying that those pardons by Joe Biden on the January 6th committee and others, null and void. Ryan Schmelz standing by right now from Fox News Radio. Ryan, what do we know about this one? Good morning.
Right. So President Trump fired off some pretty harsh tweets yesterday, or a True Social post, alleging that President Biden, his pardons are no longer void because he believes they were signed by AutoPen. And this is stemming from a Harris Foundation investigation, or an investigation through one of their watchdog organizations, the Oversight Project, saying that we gathered every document we could find with Biden's signature over the course of his presidency. All used the same AutoPen signature, except for the announcement that the former president was dropping out of the race last year. So Trump is alleging that because this was an AutoPen pardon, therefore they should no longer be void. So I think that'll be up to the courts if it gets to that point.
How does this, listen, when I sign a document online, I use the Adobe system, and it's an electronic signature. That flies.
Yeah.
That's a legal signature.
And that's the thing. I think this accusation probably would have been a little more sturdy if this would have happened back in the mid 2000s and not in 2025, everyone's making legal signatures by AutoPen and they're being accepted in many legal documents. So yes, I think there is that question would certainly come up. So I think it just depends on what the Trump administration or Congress wants to pursue further with these individuals who were pardoned. I've had some Republicans say to me that, well, because they're now pardoned, we can get a lot more answers from them. They have really nothing to lose. So if that's the route they want to take in the future, we'll see.
You think Liz Cheney's coming before their committee? I don't think so.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
And by the way, I signed 2 documents yesterday. President Joe Biden through Adobe. It's incredible. You can sign under. It's amazing what you can accomplish with electronics today. That's just not true. Okay, Ryan, interesting stuff. We always appreciate your update. Thanks, man.
Hey, thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Did you see, I don't know if you saw this, Davey, at the Knicks game, Monday night's NBA game between the Knicks and Miami Heat? Did you see what happened?
I didn't. I'm not into NBA basketball.
You don't really have to be into NBA basketball to see what happened.
What happened?
Tracy Morgan, who's a big Knicks fan, shows up at many games. Tracy Morgan was seen, and you could see it on TV.
Intoxicated?
I don't know that he was intoxicated. I think he got sick.
Oh, boy.
And began vomiting.
Oh.
And, his seat's right at courtside.
Yes. Oh, gosh.
He began vomiting. It delayed the game by more than 10 minutes. When they took him out in a chair, shows Morgan, of course, of SNL fame and 30 Rock, was recently, at least in the last couple of years, was up here at Turning Stone. Maybe last month he was at Del Lago performing. But apparently they put a towel over his face and they swooped him out of court. It's kind of like when you're in, and that's awful, right? When you're in school, you remember in elementary school when a kid would get sick, the janitor would come in and pour that stuff over top, sprinkle stuff over top of it, which would combine with the actual odoriferous power of the excrement.
I'll do you one better, Bill.
Please, you proved to me yesterday I have no idea what's going to come out of your mouth.
Oh, but the people want to know.
Okay, go ahead.
School bus.
A school bus is even worse because it
wasn't me.
The school bus is like you're on a boat, like a rowboat, and there's water. When you're going along the water, the water inside the boat starts at the front of the boat and then moves to the back, and
There were a lot of feet on the seats that day.
No report on what was wrong with Tracy Morgan or what his condition is, but he was sick.
He has diabetes, and I know he underwent a kidney transplant.
He did.
I think like 2010.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
He was told to be shouting on the way out, "Somebody's going to get pregnant." That's an awful impression, but...
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
You know what? Let's chalk it up to norovirus. It's still going around.
Let me break. Megan does an update on the news coming right up at WIBX.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 6:37. It's 28 degrees in Marcy under clear skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. As expected, Oneida County will be filing a lawsuit against Governor Hochul. The governor issued an executive order banning local governments from hiring thousands of corrections officers who were fired following the recent prison strike. County Executive Anthony Pacenti claims that the governor's order violates the rights of the fired officers. He says once the lawsuit is in the court's hands, the county will hire many of those officers to fill spots in the sheriff's department and other agencies. A grand jury is going to be hearing testimony involving the death of an inmate at Midstate Correctional Facility in Marcy. Earlier this month, 22-year-old Messiah Nantwi ended up being pronounced dead at Wynn Hospital after being taken there from the prison. 15 staff members have already been placed on leave, and the Attorney General's office has recused itself from the investigation due to a possible conflict of interest. The grand jury is scheduled to meet in April. With the measles outbreak in Texas and New Mexico and isolated cases in 13 other states, including New York, topping 300 cases nationwide, there's a warning from pediatricians. If your child contracts measles, they could develop a degenerative neurological condition 7 to 10 years later for which there's no cure. It's called subacute sclerosing panencephalitis, or SSPE. Pediatricians say it's almost always fatal. The CDC says the best protection is the measles vaccine. Your WIBX news time is 6:38. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
We'll continue with clearing skies. A little bit colder this morning, but not terrible. And remember, it's still March. It's still officially wintertime. But milder days ahead here. Sunny today, 55. Tonight, mainly clear, 35. 20s to the north. Wednesday, sunshine, 65 degrees. Next round of rain showers in here Thursday. Maybe rain showers over to snow showers Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
28 degrees in downtown Marcy under clear skies. I'm Megan Stone.
I got a bunch of comments and some good ones, including one from Bill Morehouse that we'll get to. And actually, from people that don't normally offer up a little humor, I've got a little humor from those who normally don't offer that up.
There you go.
I'm looking forward to that. We'll get to comments and all of that, 6:39 coming up at WIBX.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
We're the power and power equipment, White's Farm Supply.
At Kubota, we want to help you deliver a job done right. That's why we want you to know that new Kubota inventory is arriving daily. You have work to do. We have the reliable, durable, and versatile lineup to help you do it. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
We're the power and power equipment, White's Farm Supply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Preborn helps to save the lives of unborn children. This year, that miracle of life may happen more than 50,000 times. You see, while Roe v. Wade was overturned, returning decisions on abortion to each state, what's known as the abortion pill has superseded surgical abortions, accounting now for 60% of all of them. Preborn's network of clinics are on standby for women in their darkest hour, and they meet them with love and free services to help them choose life for their unborn child. Preborn and their network of clinics have rescued over 330,000 babies' lives to date. But their work has just begun, as every day thousands of babies' lives hang in the balance. Your tax-deductible donation of any amount is crucial in the fight for life and the heartbeat of our nation. Will you help us? All proceeds will go towards life. Just dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, say baby, or donate securely at preborn.com/hope. That's preborn.com/hope. Sponsored by Preborn.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, portions of the program brought to you by Sarah's Flooring Outlet has the largest flooring inventory anywhere. We recently purchased tile from Sarah's. And what I love about Sarah's is it is the enormous inventory. So you can get products that are unique, not the same old, if you will. Redwood flooring, I should say Revwood flooring. Kind of you feel like redwood, but it is not actual wood. It is the most unbelievable product made in the USA. Quality and ingenuity. It'll last and last, but it looks so much like a hardwood. Revwood, maximum scratch protection, fade resistant, exceptional durability. So you can have the beauty of wood and you don't have to worry about it. Basically for life. Best of all, the long-lasting beauty of Revwood is made here in the USA. Visit Sarah's to discover the Revwood flooring that fits your style. And if you're looking for carpeting, Sarah's also offers Smart Strand carpets by Mohawk that are extraordinarily clean, exceptionally durable, environmentally friendly, and you always get 6 months interest-free financing at Sarah's with the widest variety of flooring you're going to find. All on sale now at unbeatable prices. Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy. Online, sarahsflooringoutlet.com is the website. A couple of comments. You want to hear some people?
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Ross Bartell. Here's who qualifies on that Harvard deal. Families earning $100,000 or less get full coverage of tuition, housing, food, and fees. Plus, students get a $2,000 startup grant in their first year, a $2,000 launch grant in their junior year. Families earning $100,000 to $200,000 tuition, fully covered, though additional aid for housing and other costs will depend on their financial circumstances. Those who earn above $200,000, financial aid is still available, but not guaranteed. I mean, that's Harvard. It's going to cost you a lot of money to go there.
It's going to cost a lot of brain power to go there.
Unless you're getting it for free. Yeah. The Elise in Congress for her vote on the Trump tax proposals in May. So we may not see that seat opening up until that vote.
Yeah.
Interesting. What else? Mike, this morning, when the booster returned back to the launch pad, they were playing the Maxine Nightingale song, which is my wife's favorite. My wife, when Maxine Nightingale played the post-race party for the Boilermaker.
Yep.
And she performed, I don't know, like 10 or 12 great disco songs, including her own right back where we started from. She was the biggest diva to deal with.
Really?
And my wife came back because my wife was in charge. I'm like, listen, we can't get her here. She's late. We didn't think she was going to make it on time. So Allison rode over to pick her up and get her because all the roads are closed, right? So now it's noon and she's not here yet.
Yeah, and the people are getting antsy.
Showtime's playing. They're waiting for the big, Maxine Nightingale.
Big star.
And all I can tell you is my wife came back and said, never again. What a diva. Very difficult to deal with.
And the sad thing is you mentioned her, and I'm like, I haven't thought about her in years.
Well, that's probably, that's probably true. And by the way, the library is saying the rent is too damn high in Herkimer.
There you go.
in Herkimer. That rent, too damn high. The astronauts finally made their way, or are on their way home. Suni Williams, Butch Wilmore finally coming home from a space mission that was supposed to be 10 days, but turned into 9 months. It was a long haul. And boy, that Suni Williams has a lot of hair, right? And with zero gravity, it just floats all over the place. Here's audio from them.
Heading into the home stretch for Williams and Wilmore, the beginning of the end for a 9.5-month mission in space.
On behalf of Crew 9, it was a privilege to live and work and be a part of a mission and a team that spans the globe, working together in cooperation for the benefit of humanity.
Staring out into the night.
Crew 9, safe journey home.
I'm going home.
And we'll be coming home, splashing down in the ocean, so that's what we're looking forward to.
I miss him so much, and I cannot wait for him to hug his neck.
It brings to mind family and all the people on the ground who support us.
I can't wait for her to come home and enjoy the beach with us.
We're coming back before long, so don't make all those plans without me.
So I'm going home.
Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore begin their belated trip home.
I'm going home.
And undocking confirmed.
Everyone's going home.
Hopefully, we did you proud.
Nice, Davey. Davey added music to that. I didn't even know.
There's
Very
a nice Daughtry in there.
What
Phil
else?
Phillips.
What else do we want to? Okay, so here's Rob's comment on the some judge tried to stop these scumbags from being deported. Really, just doing what's right for America. No, Bill. There's a rule of law that must be followed. The president and the administration has every opportunity to appeal that judge's decision. There is no scenario. They could be the worst judges in the world. There's a process. This is coming from the guy that wants Katie Aiello to step in line. Bill, you got to be kidding me. What an apologist here. I cannot believe that you would accept a defiance of long-standing constitutional law because you love the guy so much. I don't understand it. How could you? The judge is liberal and is a wacko. These people are dangerous.
Yeah, they found the one judge.
Listen, you follow the effing process. You appeal, and then you move forward. But there's the law of the land that's got to be followed.
Yes.
Otherwise, you have a severe problem. And I don't know what happens after that.
You're giving the other side more ammunition to call for a constitutional crisis and stoke fears that this is only the beginning. And if this happens and, quote, he's allowed to get away with it, what's going to be the next step?
Today is National Sloppy Joe Day, on the other hand. Do love Sloppy Joes. Don't think I'll be making them for today, but it is Sloppy Joe Day. Mm-hmm. Doctors are now saying that people are getting so much Botox, they're becoming immune to it.
Are you?
Man, you see some of these people in Hollywood,
yes.
and their faces are just like Joker style, stuck with a smile.
Oh, my God, like Jeffree Star.
Here is Dr. Tim Peirce explaining about what is known as Botox resistance.
The resistance to Botox that's a real problem is when you develop an antibody to the active component of the botulinum toxin molecule. And that means the antibodies will stick to that molecule before it has a chance to do anything on the nerve, which means you don't get an effect.
Why in the hell are we adding music to every clip? I don't understand that. Davey!
God.
What in the hell are you doing over there?
We're trying a new TikTok channel, and we're going to be schnazzy and doing like soap cutting videos on the background, so we get a lot of engagement.
Police in Boston shared a photo of dozens of Borgs they confiscated from young people over St. Patrick's Day weekend. It stands for
Blackout Rage Gallons.
Okay, just gallons of jugs filled with
a high potency amount of alcohol.
Booze, yeah. Here's a resident and city councilor Ed Flynn talking about the Borgs, if you don't know what it is.
The collections at the train stations with like 40 laying by like a column.
We can't continue having a parade with this violence and alcohol are major parts of it. This parade is about respecting our South Boston veterans and military families. And if we can't do that in a family-friendly way, I'd rather have no parade.
The city councilor is nuts if he thinks that that's what people are thinking about when they come out to the parade. Unfortunately, it is not. It's a party time. And you know who told us all about it? Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. She warned us. Boston is the place where they party hardy, and New York as well. Good morning, Tanya.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah. Did you know what a Borg was? B-O-R-G?
I don't remember it having a certain name before, but I don't think that's new.
I don't think it's new either. No, you're probably right. It's the modern day version of a flask, only much bigger.
And made of plastic.
Yeah.
I tried to stay away from drinks that have like a current running through them. You know, that are large enough to,
That's
sustain a small boat. Yeah.
That's a very, very good point. It never ends well, does it? It just never ends well.
No.
You have an interesting story. New York Hospital partnering with an Israeli hospital to deliver cutting-edge care to soldiers. What do we know about this?
Yeah, it's NYU Langone Center for Amputation Reconstruction. They're teaming up with a hospital in Tel Aviv, a medical center there. It's a partnership that was actually facilitated by a nonprofit that's also an Israeli rehab center for wounded IDF soldiers. And the NYU folks are going to give the Israeli hospital techniques for a surgical procedure that actually connects a metal implant or a prosthetic limb to the surrounding bone tissue. It's called osseointegration, is the procedure's name. And what it does is it makes the connection between the implant and the bone a lot more stable, eliminating the need for like a traditional prosthesis. So it is something that apparently is much preferred. It is also something that, after this training, they're training the Israeli doctors to be able to perform this in their own country. Apparently, the surgery can also alleviate phantom limb sensation and some of the pain that's associated with amputation and wearing a traditional prosthesis. The folks at NYU, the Center for Amputation Reconstruction, have also had experience treating Ukrainian soldiers after the Russian invasion there. After the October 7th Hamas attack and the war in Gaza, that has greatly increased the need for prosthetics in Israel. The process that they're teaching them had not yet been widespread there. So that's one of the reasons they're teaming up to teach them how to do this procedure. So the greater need for it to be done there can, maybe they'll have a lot more, luck and stability, and, these patients will have a much better outcome.
Yeah. It is incredible how, I thought about this when I was recently thought about this and thought about a time when I was in high school and one of our classmates had to have, he came up with cancer and had to have his leg amputated. And I wonder today, by the way, if there would have been an amputation today. Probably not, based on what we know today and how we treat cancer. But the prosthetic, how amazing that was back then. But when you look back 30 years ago or 40 years ago, how far we have come with these. They're so realistic. They can accomplish so much with prosthetics today. It's incredible.
It really is.
Yeah. Okay, Tanya, you have a wonderful day. We thank you for the update.
Sure. Thank you.
Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. I would get into all the comments, but I can't. And Chuck, there's just no defending. There's a rule of law. It's followed. No one is above the law. No one. And if you are okay with one president doing it, then you'd be okay with another president coming into office who may be from another party doing it. It's just the way. Think of it, without the rule of law, we would never have had a Watergate, because we never would have known, because Nixon never would have turned over documents. I just don't get it. Let me break, though. Official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. And this should be, I don't care what side you're on. Hopefully you're on the American side. That's the only side, in my opinion, that really matters. Official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. And yeah, there are a lot of stupid people out there. A lot of crazy judges. I get it. Well, it's Daylight Donuts, but I'll have to do that later. Got a break. News coming right up at WIBX.
Mattress Express's closeout sale on brand new leftover inventory and floor models. Right now, buy a king or queen and get a free adjustable base. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans available as well.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit bmecompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
When you choose Bassett Healthcare Network for your surgical needs, you'll get amazing care from a devoted team of surgical specialists. Bassett surgeons offer many advanced services, including minimally invasive and robotic procedures. Surgeons are accepting new patients at convenient locations in Cooperstown, Oneonta, Delhi, Little Falls, and Herkimer. Choose a remarkable Bassett surgeon and discover a team you can trust. Visit bassett.org/remarkable surgeons to learn more.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom, but a little over a year ago, we realized she couldn't take care of herself without our help. And well, how could I not be there for her? I had no idea how hard it would be, and just what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and, even for me, ways to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics that got me started, but also information about the hurdles I was facing in this new role. I could even connect with experts and hear from others who'd been in my place. I know this road we're on isn't an easy one, but I'm really happy to have the extra help for her and for me.
Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. This message is brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Keep up to date with what's going on in Central New York by downloading the WIBX mobile app. Stream the station anytime, anywhere, and also receive updates on breaking local news. Download the WIBX mobile app on the Apple or...
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Israel has stopped ceasing fire. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's in Gaza, where Israel launched a lot of airstrikes.
Last night into this morning in Gaza, it is the heaviest wave of attacks since the ceasefire took effect in January. The IDF says it hit dozens of targets, going after Hamas targets like officials, leadership, and infrastructure.
Health officials in Gaza say more than 400 Palestinians have been killed, including women and children. Fox's Alex Hogan also reads a statement from Israel's defense minister.
This decision comes after Hamas repeatedly refused to release our hostages and rejected all proposals presented by U.S. President's envoy, Steve Witkoff, as well as the mediators.
Today, President Trump will focus on ending another war. In a phone call with Russia's leader, Vladimir Putin, pushing for a ceasefire.
And I think Ukraine wants it. I know they want it. Everybody wants it. It's tremendous death. The bloodshed is unbelievable.
Now, the president remains under scrutiny also over weekend deportations of more than 200 illegal immigrants. A federal judge is demanding answers by noon about why his order to block 2 flights was ignored, asking the administration to show a plan to bring those illegal immigrants back from El Salvador where they were flown.
The Trump administration is saying that the judge who tried to stop them from deporting Venezuelan gang members via the Alien Enemies Act vastly overstepped his authority. Now, they're asking a circuit court to remove him from the case entirely.
Fox's Bill Maloogian. 2 astronauts stuck in space since June are finally on their way back to Earth.
To Crew 9, safe journey home.
Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams are on a SpaceX capsule. It undocked just after midnight and will return late in the afternoon, ending what was supposed to be a short mission to the International Space Station. But the Boeing craft that took them there last year had issues and couldn't bring them back. The boys of summer are back, even though it's still winter. The Major League Baseball season opener being played now in Japan. The Chicago Cubs lead the Los Angeles Dodgers 1-0 in the third inning. America's listening to Fox News.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or consumercellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
We mentioned President Trump and his phone call with Russia's leader today, trying to end the war in Ukraine. It comes the day after he went to the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts that the president is now in charge of.
During a Monday visit, President Trump called the Kennedy Center a big part of the fabric of D.C., but says it needs a lot of work.
We're going to make a lot of changes, including the seats, the decor, pretty much everything.
The president dismissed the Kennedy Center's leadership earlier this year, appointing a new board of trustees and naming himself the chairman.
I never realized this was in such bad shape. I've been so busy, I haven't been able to be here in a long time.
Several artists have said they will no longer perform at the venue following the Trump administration's takeover. And last week, Vice President J.D. Vance was booed by concert goers at a classical music performance. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Canada's new prime minister is getting the royal treatment visiting London amid a trade war between the U.S. and Canada and Europe, which is retaliating for American tariffs on imports.
If President Donald Trump really does want Canada as the 51st state, Canada's head of state might have something to say. King Charles welcomed Prime Minister Mark Carney to Buckingham Palace, symbolically wearing a tie in Canadian red. He called the relationship rather important. PM Carney glad of the support.
We have a steadfast defender in our sovereign.
He later met British counterpart Keir Starmer at 10 Downing Street.
Shared history, shared values, shared king.
Mark Carney also went to France on this first foreign trip as leader. Canadian prime ministers normally visit the US before going further afield. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down, so selling may resume on concern about tariffs potentially hurting the economy. This after a second straight rebound from March losses. The Dow gained 353 points yesterday. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. It is 28 degrees under clear skies in Marcy. Your full weather forecast is coming up next. Oneida County Executive Anthony Picente says the lawsuit against Governor Kathy Hochul's administration is moving forward. Hochul's executive order blocks the 2,000 corrections officers that participated in the 22-day wildcat strike from seeking new employment with other state entities. Picente says the order is an overreach and that the governor doesn't have that kind of decision-making power. Picente said the motion will be filed shortly and that he is looking forward to a resolution that ends with Oneida County filling much-needed vacancies within the county sheriffs and other departments. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is postponing his book tour after a backlash within his own party. This after the New York lawmaker voted to advance a House Republican-led funding package. A spokesperson for his tour said it would be rescheduled over security concerns. He was scheduled to visit Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York City to promote his new book, Anti-Semitism in America, A Warning. On that note, the Democratic Party's popularity is at an all-time low, largely due to disappointed supporters. A recent CNN poll reveals that about 57% of Democrats now prioritize opposing the Republican agenda over collaborating with them. The shift follows a March vote by 10 Democratic senators, including Chuck Schumer, to support a spending bill with Republicans, frustrating many in the party. The spending bill prevents government shutdowns. Unlike September 2017, when 74% favored working with the Republicans, many Democrats are now eager to take a more combative stance against the GOP. This marks a big change from their stance during Trump's first term. And more young people are looking to enter the home market. An analysis from CoreLogic found Gen Z made up 13% of U.S. home mortgage applications last year. Many Gen Z home buyers are single, but nearly half of the applicants had co-applicants. The analysis also found that Gen Z home ownership was highest in the Midwest for 2024, while more expensive coastal metro areas lagged behind. Your WIBX news time is 7:07. Here is your full weather forecast.
We'll continue with clearing skies. A little bit colder this morning, but not terrible. And remember, it's still March. It's still officially wintertime. A lot of days ahead here. Sunny today, 55. Tonight, mainly clear, 35. 20s to the north. Wednesday, sunshine, 65 degrees. Next round of rain showers in here Thursday. Maybe rain showers over to snow showers Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stijek, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
28 degrees in Marcy under clear skies. In sports, the Giants are still looking to add a quarterback to the roster. According to the NFL Network, the G-men are scheduled to visit with free agent QB Jameis Winston today. Winston threw for over 2,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions for the Cleveland Browns last year. The Eagles are bringing in a late addition in free agency. The team announced on Monday that Azeez Ojulari has agreed to a one-year contract to join the defending Super Bowl champs. The pass rusher had 6 sacks in 11 games for the Giants last season and was taken by New York in the second round out of Georgia in the 2021 draft. The 24-year-old has struggled with injuries over the past 3 years. In other news, the Texans signed QB Derek Stingley Jr. to a 3-year, or cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. to a 3-year, $90 million extension. He's now the highest-paid cornerback in NFL history. The Steelers added veteran defensive back Juan Thornhill to a 1-year deal. The Jets made more free agent signings official on Monday. The Green and White announced the signings of wide receiver Tyler Johnson, tight end Stone Smart, edge rusher Rashad Weaver, cornerback Chris Boyd, and defensive lineman Jay Tuffley. Gang Green also announced the re-signing of cornerback Isaiah Oliver. The Yankees came up short after falling to the Toronto Blue Jays 6-5. Brent Heydrich started the game and allowed 3 runs over the inning of work. Baron Stewart was charged with the loss. New York hosts the Boston Red Sox this afternoon. The Mets continued their spring on Monday with split squad action. New York topped the Miami Marlins 6-5, but they were shut out by the Tampa Bay Rays 2-0. The Mets will visit the Houston Astros tomorrow. The NCAA's men's basketball tournament begins tonight with a pair of first 4 matchups. St. John's faces Omaha in the first round Thursday night in Providence. UConn begins its quest for a three-peat against Oklahoma Friday night in Raleigh. And Rory McIlroy is the winner of the Players' Championship in Florida. He defeated J.J. Spaun Monday morning in a 3-hole playoff to win his second Players title. Spaun was able to tie McIlroy during the final round of the 12-under par to force the playoff. McIlroy now has 28 career wins on the PGA Tour. Next up is the Valspar Championship in Palm Harbor. That begins on Thursday. WIBX News Time is 7:10. I'm Megan Stone.
I want to tell you that for season ticket holders, Davey, tickets went on sale yesterday for the Utica Pioneers game on Saturday at the Adirondack Bank Center. They're 12. I can't believe you can go to an NCAA hockey game for $12. Pretty wild. We, this week, I have a 5-pack of seats to which I had gotten yesterday, and then realized I'm not going to be here to go to the game. So here we are with 5 tickets. What do I do with them? And we'll give somebody a chance to win a family 5-pack. These are great seats, too.
5-pack, not a 4-pack?
A family 5-pack.
Oh, great. Grandma gets to come.
Well, don't bring her. She's so annoying. We'll get to that coming up. Along with Davey, how much this morning on Hobica's free money question of the day?
$200.
$200. We'll do that at 7:35 at WIBX.
Are you looking for an easy way to get a daily detox? Pharmacist, best-selling author, and nutrition expert Sherry Torkos explains why Active Liver is the perfect solution.
As a health expert, I'm often asked how to support the liver's natural detoxification process and offset the effects of fatty foods, sugar, and alcohol. I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic.
Active Liver is the perfect way to get an easy daily detox to keep you healthy and feeling your best. You can find Active Liver in the vitamin aisle at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
Ferris commercial mowers set the bar with racing-inspired patented full suspension and integrated cutting decks so you can go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Ferris Experience Suspension. Take advantage of the best financing and prices of the year. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
Near the power and power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
Easter reminds us that new beginnings are possible. You can help the Rome Rescue Mission provide the chance for a new beginning for a family in our area. It is the Rome Rescue Mission's goal to help families in need to celebrate this Easter season. You can help a family of 5 this Easter with your generous support of $25. For $25, the Rome Rescue Mission will provide a family of 5 with a hot meal and give them a memorable Easter celebration. A feeling of safety, a feeling of knowing that someone cares. From there, a person can rebuild a life. Through resurrection power comes freedom from the past and an unlimited future. Everyone deserves a chance at a new beginning. Won't you help make that happen for families in our area this season? Rome Rescue Mission, giving hope and loving the lost. Please donate now at romemission.org. That's romemission.org. Rome Rescue Mission, a hand up, not a handout.
It's March basketball, and you could win $1 million in the $1 Million Bracket Challenge on WIBX. Brought to you by Tony's Pizza in Washington Mills, home of the Grand Lunch and Dinner Italian Buffet. Weekdays 11 till 8. If your bracket isn't perfect, you can still win $10,000. Just sign up now at WIBX950.com. Select your bracket starting this Sunday, March 16th, and get those predictions in before March 18th.
No purchase necessary.
Play the $1 Million Bracket Challenge from Tony's in Washington Mills on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Celebrating 100 years.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
So, Davey, we have to get those brackets filled out by today. It says,
yes, sir.
This guy I just heard, I believe it was me, saying the 18th.
No, you have until Thursday.
It should be until Thursday.
Yeah,
these are only play-in games.
The national contests, like ESPN and all them, I have until
Thursday.
12. It's 12 o'clock.
12 noon on Thursday.
Yep.
Don't listen to me, I think. Can you look into that, Megan? Because that is not right. You never hold. You never.
Yes, it's the deadline. It's the Thursday 3:20. So I wonder if there is because
noon.
Yeah.
The play-in games don't mean nothing.
They don't mean anything.
The first
four
matchups.
Yeah.
The play-in games figure out who's going to be in the 64.
Yeah.
Right.
Like North Carolina plays San Diego State tonight.
I think that promo is wrong. You should have until Thursday at noon to be able to fill out your bracket. Tony's in Washington Mills, giving everybody an opportunity at $1 million if you have a perfect bracket, and we all know how difficult that is. But there's a $10,000 prize that you could be in the running for.
Oh, no, they do. Bookmark this page. When the tournament starts up March 18th, you can keep checking back to see how you're doing. So, yes, it's from Town Square, 18th.
All right. Well, nobody else does it that way.
Nope.
I don't know why we would do it
here,
that way.
Okay, at the way bottom.
But you don't pick the 4 play-in games.
So so if you go to the actual WIBX page, so we weren't the ones who wrote this. This came from the top. So bookmark this page. When the tournament starts March 18th, you can keep checking. So it sounds like that's when it is, and that's the information that we went off of. But if you go all the way to the bottom, The 4 playing games on March 18th are buys. No prediction required. Predictions are required only for the 63 games beginning Thursday, March 20th. So we'll go in and we'll edit
here's
that.
why you can't. That's got to be changed, because here's why you can't pick the 64 now, because you don't know who those teams are yet. So that's why the deadline should be noon. We got to change that. The deadline should be noon on Thursday.
And we will.
Okay. All right, Davey, how does it feel to be right?
Good.
Good? Pretty
Does
good?
that mean we're going to get more money to give away for Hobica?
Can I just personally say something real quick?
No. I don't think I wouldn't do it. You're 50 now. You have to be more responsible. And look, I said something I've got 4 people hammering me right now.
And they're calling you right now.
I'm not reading them, by the way. Bill Morehouse, I haven't read your messages. I see you popping in, and I told you I'm done reading your messages. So you're talking to the wall, the virtual wall.
Talk to the hand.
You're talking to the wall, man. It's like, I think you accomplish more when you converse with Katie Aiello, which I still don't understand how that deal came together last Friday. Okay, Davey, what do you want to say?
I just wanted to personally thank everyone who called, reached out to me on text and personal messages like yesterday to wish me happy 50th birthday.
It's a big, that's a big moment.
5 minutes before 9 o'clock, this one kind of meant a lot to me.
It did.
They're longtime listeners. They're friends of my grandparents who are now passed, and they're still good friends of ours. They both called up to wish me a happy birthday, and it really meant a lot. Thank you very much.
Who are they? Who are these people?
Mr. and Mrs. Dudley.
Dudley?
Dudley. They lived down on the same road. They were my grandma and grandpa's friends for years.
I would have bet that's a very Irish name, Dudley.
They're the greatest person. Mr. Dudley is a big Syracuse Orange fan. Mrs. Dudley does beautiful, beautiful artwork, paintings. They're both tremendous people.
I wonder if Mrs. Dudley could paint a picture for Mr. Dudley where Syracuse basketball is in the NCAA tournament next year.
They're both tremendous.
That would be a nice picture. I would like to see it.
They're both tremendous people. They've been friends of our family for years, and it really meant a lot for me to have them call up, wish me happy birthday yesterday.
Deeds in New Hartford. I'm interested to know if you have to sign on for those 8 software treatments. Is there an agreement for 8 treatments? All I can tell you is I did my first one, and I plan, and I believe they have it's a $99 new patient special for the first treatment. And then you can make your decision after that. When I'm done, I got a few things to take care of in the next month. And when I'm done with that, I'm going through this treatment. Because I noticed, I don't know what anybody else says. This was on my lower back. And I noticed a difference and I'm going to talk to Dr. Hall about it. I noticed a difference with the Revive Softwave therapy. The same day and the next day is when I felt relief in my back pain. So I'm going for the 8-session treatment. One probably will start up in April for that. Anyway, it's Dr. Timothy Del Medico. As long as we're talking about it, FDA cleared, non-invasive. People do stem cell injections, and sometimes that's $10,000 or more. This is an out-of-pocket cost. This is like this is less than you'd spend going to a nice restaurant for dinner for 2.
There you go.
And it simulates an injury that sends the blood and the stem cells to that area for your body to help revive itself, to repair its own injury, which is what the body is meant to do. This just kind of says to your brain, there's a problem over here, send help, and it's exactly what happens. I realize it's being done in my terms, Johnny Layman, but it is what it is. Call today, 315-725-8427, trusted by pro athletes, medical experts. Forbes endorses it. The Lakers, Mayo Clinic, the Nets, the Giants, the Cubs, the Steelers. I'm not sure why the Bills aren't in there yet, but it's why would you spend $10,000 or more on stem cell injections when you can mobilize those stem cells using your very own stem cells?
Right.
Pretty incredible. I don't know anything about medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I just know when the pain is relieved. And for me, it was.
I just enjoy the fact that it's not invasive.
Here is Stefan. Hello, Stefan. Good morning.
Well, hello, Bill. And over in Tokyo, there's a Major League Baseball game going on right now.
Right now, do you see how many people are in the stands there?
It is packed.
Yeah. It was packed when they had batting practice yesterday or the day before.
The Japanese love baseball.
Well, the Dodgers have the Japanese player they love, and it's incredible. We went to a Mets game playing the Dodgers. I couldn't believe the place was filled with Asians. Most of them didn't even. I think these people flew over to go to see Senga play not Senga. Go ahead, Davey.
Ohtani.
Well, Senga too, but I think they came special just to see him play. It's incredible. Okay, what else, Stephen? Anything else?
And the Cubs are up 1-0 so far over the Dodgers, and Ohtani just got the first hit for the Dodgers right now.
All right. Yeah, he's a hitting machine. Okay, Stephen, thanks. Give us an update later on, okay?
Okay.
All right, and that game is going on right now. So, Deeds, I will tell you, I do not know the answer on soft wave therapy, but I'm sure you can come up with an 8-treatment program, and they have in-house financing there as well. Did I give the number out? I think I did. Let me
You could always give it out again.
It is, of course, is reviveutica.com. You can go to their website and get all the details. reviveutica.com, and the phone number is 315-725-8427. Dr. Timothy Del Medico. Speaking of doctors, I have a lot of questions about all of this. Dr. Ken Hall, good morning. He was the, of course, former, now retired MVH Chief Physician Executive. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good. I got to tell you, it's that osteopathic approach, right? Where you allow your body to help repair your body. And I have to say that Revive, it definitely, all I can tell you is it relieved my pain.
Yeah, it has been shown in a number of studies to actually be very effective in the decreasing pain from mostly from musculoskeletal injuries, which is why the sports folks are really big into it and stuff. And yeah, it basically, for lack of a better term, it agitates the tissues, which stimulates the body's healing, internal or native healing mechanism.
Right.
So, it has been shown to be good. Most of the studies that have been done have been both small and relatively short-lived. So we don't know how long the effect is. But certainly from a short-term standpoint, definitely has a real promise. So.
Do you know you would know this, but it is the same technology they use when they break up like kidney stones. It's used at a different level. I guess you turn it up. I don't know. But that it's the real deal. It's really quite impressive. All right, I want to switch gears, and because cancer does affect everybody, it seems. There's not a family that I know of that isn't in some way affected. And Megan had a story today. What was the story that you had? Again, very promising when it comes to treatment of cancer.
Yes, it's a new treatment to deal with an intestinal cancer, for stage 4 abdominal cancer. So it's called hyperthermic intraperitoneal chemotherapy. Try saying that three times fast, but it's basically involves removing the tumors, heating chemotherapy drugs, and administering them directly into the abdominal cavity through a catheter for a few hours. And it says it reduces therapy time and side effects, and it's usually covered by medical insurance.
Yep. So that's basically getting the chemotherapy drug or the anti-cancer drug directly to the tumor, as opposed to putting it into the bloodstream and having it flow through. So there are certain chemotherapy drugs that are more efficacious for that type of a way of putting it in. And obviously, because we're talking about intestinal cancer and you're putting it into the abdominal cavity, that makes sense. You wouldn't do that for if it was lung cancer or brain cancer or something like that. So, again, like I've said before, we talk about cancer as if it's a single medical entity, but the reality is it's 200 plus different diseases. And so each one is going to have its own best way of being treated. And so this looks like it has some real promise in terms of decreasing side effects and increasing the effectiveness of treating intestinal cancer. But we'll see. Right now, it's still in its early stages. We don't know what the long-term benefits are. Is this really going to show, good benefits in terms of long-term extending life and things like that?
Then there's the study. So the previous cancer that I had was colon cancer, and it was caught early enough where I didn't have to go through chemo and I didn't have to go through radiation. They just did an operation and took out 11 inches of the colon. This study at Sloan Kettering in New York is, Doc, I don't know if did I see it right? And because I don't want to report the wrong thing, but this is for people with tumors, with colon cancer, and they not only reduce the size of the tumor, but eliminate the tumors using immunotherapy. And the study is small at this point, about 65 people, and it is a 100% success rate at this point. Or did I read this wrong?
No, you read it exactly right. So this is where a lot of energy and research and resources have been devoted in cancer therapy, which is immune therapy, which is basically finding a piece of the cancer cell that does not exist in the normal cells for that. So in this particular instance, we're talking about rectal cancer, which is a type of colon cancer. And what they're doing is they found pieces or protein entities within the cancer cells that do not exist in the normal cells of that tissue, and then they have developed antibodies against those particular proteins within those cells, and then when they inject them in, then the antibodies attach, and then the body starts to attack those cancer cells, leaving the normal cells alone. And this particular study, again, it is small. It's only about, like you said, about 60 to 70 people, but it has shown, believe it or not, a 100% effective rate for it.
Yeah.
Now, it is a small subset of even people that have rectal cancer, because you have to have this particular protein that the antibody can fight against. So it is, it isn't for everybody who has rectal cancer, but it is promising. And this is the groundbreaking cancer therapy that we all really want to be looking for. It gets you away from having to go through surgery and chemotherapy and radiation therapy and all those things, and doesn't give you the side effects of the chemotherapy. The GI issues with the vomiting and the hair loss and all that stuff. So it is. We can really hope that this will be, another step along that path.
The woman that I saw they were interviewing had stage 4 rectal cancer. The options for her were radiation and chemotherapy and an operation. She would have had everything basically removed. She would have had to wear a colostomy bag for the rest of her life, and she was younger and would no longer be able to have children. Wow. And this is stage 4. This therapy eliminated her tumor. She had no operation, no chemo, no radiation. I mean, Doc, that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, this is the kind of almost feels like a miracle cure.
Yeah.
But it is scientifically based, and it is, I believe, now this is my opinion, but I believe that this is going to be the future for cancer treatment is getting this kind of targeted treatment that is highly effective.
And then there are times that I feel guilty based on the leukemia that I have, because I know so many other people who are going through a difficult time, whether it be chemo and an operation and radiation. And here I am. I'm lucky enough to have this pill that I take, and I complain about the side effects, but I should be doing no complaining, because I can still work. I can still live a normal life. And these 2 pills that I take once a day eliminate the cancer. It doesn't eliminate it, but it basically regulates the cancer to the point where you couldn't even detect it in a blood test, as long as I can take this medicine twice a day, which prior to 2000, the year 2000, people died from the leukemia that I have. I mean, I begin to feel guilty when I see someone like Ann in Rome telling me she starts her chemo tomorrow. I mean, I've been pretty darn lucky. In both cases, I've been very lucky.
Yeah, so it is. So this goes to what you are really a significant proponent and a driver of, which is early detection.
Yeah.
And making sure that people get tested for whether it's colon cancer or prostate cancer or cervical cancer in women. Early detection and early treatment, whatever that is. And then so that's part of it. The other part is, continuing to advance, different therapies that are more effective, but have less side effects and less problems. So that, we really need to continue to kind of beat that drum of we need to find it early, and we need to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to have the treatments be safe, so that people aren't afraid of them. I mean, right now people think about cancer and they say, "Oh my gosh, I've got to tolerate all these different side effects and stuff." We need to be able to say, you need to find out early, because when you do, we can treat you in a way that is not going to be as bothersome, similar to what you just said.
Pretty incredible. You had talked about this during when they were working the vaccine and with artificial intelligence. All of these things that are beginning to come out of this are positive in the research that was done during COVID, and I'm assuming before as well.
Yeah. So we think about we tend to compartmentalize things and say, oh, this is going to fix this problem, but the reality is that we in the science area, look at that and say, gee, maybe that would work here too, and maybe that would work here too, or maybe it's an offshoot, and that's really benefited what we're doing for whether it's cancer treatment, whether it's infectious disease treatment, whether it's heart treatment. All of these things are really starting to move. Now they aren't moving in leaps and bounds, but they are definitely moving.
Yeah. Okay, Doc, not a fun topic, cancer, but really the optimism that's coming out of the research right now is just pretty astounding.
Absolutely true. Yeah. Absolutely true.
All right, you have a wonderful day, Dr. Kent Hall. We appreciate your insight. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Please be safe.
Coming up, we'll do Hobica's free money question of the day. Davey's already said it's $200. He's like all in this week, being 50 years old. I feel like he's more mature now that he's 50. I mean,
he's grown up.
He's scolding people on the phone as if, they're his children.
He's yelling at people to stay out of his cubicle.
Get out of here. And me, telling me, you clearly have something going on, upper respiratory. Get away from me. I'm like, okay. All right, Davey. We'll do the Hobica free money question coming up. Looking for things to do? Let me tell you, it's happening in Herkimer County, where history, commerce, and beauty collide. They have a website. It's herkimercountyny.gov. And it's basically a things to do all throughout Herkimer County. If you have something going on and you want to promote it, submit it at the website, herkimercountyny.gov. If you're looking for something to do, let me just tell you, here today, everything from cardio classes in the town of Webb at the Recreation Department, 5 till 6 tonight. Herkimer County BOCES, Adult Practical Nursing Program. They're holding an open house today at BOCES. And there's a free chicken and biscuit community lunch at a church in Old Forge, the Nichols Church in Old Forge. It's going on today. And it's all there on the website, herkimercountyny.gov. You can check it out. And as we said, this is where Herkimer County is where history, commerce, and beauty collide. It's all happening in Herkimer County. Megan with an update coming right up then. Hobica's free money question on WIBX.
This is Anthony Constantino, CEO of Sticker Mule. I'm a proud Trump supporter, running for Congress for the seat being vacated by Elise Stefanik. I built a successful internet company with nearly 1,000 people in upstate New York. However, much of upstate New York suffers from lack of access to high-speed internet that's necessary to build great companies and enable high-paying remote jobs. In fact, much of our district lacks access to strong, dependable cell phone service too. Of course, we must have both for public safety and to grow the economy. When elected to Congress, I will work quickly with President Trump to fix this problem. With high-speed internet, dependable cell service, and by renewing President Trump's tax cuts, both for businesses and individuals, we will create jobs and return economic prosperity to upstate New York. Follow me, Anthony Constantino, on Facebook today to learn more about my plans to make New York great again. I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
Okay, we need brakes and tires. Check the battery too, please. And how about an oil change?
There's one local shop that really knows how important it is to keep our youngest passengers safe. Mulgeri's Auto Repair, family owned and operated since 1928. That's 3 generations of family that's been looking out for your family. Trusted for nearly 100 years to keep your car on the road, plus towing, brakes and tires, and good, low mileage used cars. Mulgeri's Auto Repair, 501 Albany Street, Utica. Call 315-733-5033.
At Steve Ponte Chevy in Herkimer, we'd like to thank our first responders, active military, and veterans,
as well as healthcare employees and education employees.
Not only is Chevrolet offering $500 in savings towards the purchase of your new Chevy, but Steve Ponte Chevy is going to match that with an additional $500 for a total of $1,000 in savings as our thank you to you.
So together, let's drive and see why our customers always say it's so easy to do business with Steve Ponte Chevy on Route 28 in Herkimer.
Customer must qualify for educator, military, veterans, first responder, and healthcare discount. Must take delivery by March 31st, 2025. See salesperson for details.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:40. It is 28 degrees under sunny skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up next. A grand jury is going to be hearing testimony involving the death of an inmate at Mid-State Correctional Facility in Marcy. Earlier this month, 22-year-old Messiah Nantui ended up being pronounced dead at Wynn Hospital after being taken there from the prison. 15 staff members have already been placed on leave, and the Attorney General's office has recused itself from the investigation due to a possible conflict of interest. The grand jury is scheduled to meet in April. Syracuse University is announcing the launch of a brand new regional development office. It will be led by the school's new vice president and aims to help the area capitalize on the Micron Technology chip-making complex in Clay. The school would work closely with Micron to come up with a curriculum for students who are interested in working in the semiconductor industry. Micron plans to begin construction this year on the first of multiple chip fab plants at the White Pine Commerce Park. The FAA is investigating after the wing of a Delta regional jet hit the runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport Sunday night. The agency says the plane's left wing struck the runway while trying to land. The pilot then executed a go-around and the plane landed safely on its second attempt. The aircraft was a CRJ-900, and it was arriving from Jacksonville, Florida, with 80 people on board. The flight was operated by Endeavour Air, which is the same regional carrier as the Delta plane crash that landed in Toronto last month. And a teaching assistant accused of child endangerment has faced a judge following her arrest. Catherine Rios was in Clarkstown Justice Court yesterday and pleaded not guilty to the charges filed against her. It's alleged Rios forced 2 nonverbal students at the Jesse J. Kaplan School in West Nyack underwater for several seconds back in January. Both victims were wearing flotation devices at the time and avoided being seriously hurt. Rios has been ordered to stay away from the students. Your WIBX news time is 7:42. Here is your full weather forecast.
We'll continue with clearing skies. A little bit colder this morning, but not terrible. And remember, it's still March. It's still officially wintertime. But other days ahead here. Sunny today, 55. Tonight, mainly clear, 35. 20s to the north. Wednesday, sunshine, 65 degrees. Next round of rain showers in here Thursday. Maybe rain showers over to snow showers Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
28 degrees under sunny skies. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
All right, let's do Hobeika's free money question of the day. Davey, you ready?
Sure.
$200. Caller number what?
4.
It comes from the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika. We're looking for caller number 4 right now. Here's your phone number to call. 315-736-0186. Right now at WIBX.
It's hard to know what to do when you lose a loved one. You need someone you can trust to help you navigate all the options. Mohawk Valley Monuments has been providing comfort and delivering quality memorials in our community for over 95 years. Mohawk Valley Monuments has experience with all the local cemeteries, from simple grave markings to intricate family mausoleums. For personalized service, call us today at 315-724-7629 or visit us at mohawkvalleymonuments.com.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts, or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Are you a CDPAP home care user or caregiver? Switch to PPL before April 1st to ensure a smooth transition. It's fast and easy, over the phone, online, at an in-person or virtual session, or with a CDPAP facilitator. Call PPL at 833-247-5346. That's 833-247-5346. Visit pplfirst.com/CDPAP. Register today. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Listen, you can start this year, 2025, off before your taxes are done in a great way with GPO Federal Credit Union. Simplify your finances with balanced transfer rates as low as 3.99% APR for 12 months, or consolidate high-interest debt into one manageable payment with their personal loans. But it doesn't stop there. GPO has partnered with Balance, a program to provide you with free virtual or in-person sessions with financial advisors. You and GPO will create a personalized plan to help you take control of your finances. Why wait? Let GPO help you start fresh here in 2025. Go to their website, gpofcu.com. Stop by a branch today. Debt-free, stress-free. Start your journey with GPO today. Subject to credit approval, membership eligibility required. Rates and terms based on credit worthiness Balance transfer rates revert back to normal card rate after the 12th month. Contact GPO for more information. And it's Mike right now. And Mike, are you in a Tesla right now, Davey says?
Not ever, no.
Not ever. Okay. You're in a vehicle.
I'm in a Suburban.
You're in a Suburban. Nice.
He's in a gas-using car.
Nice.
Yes, I am.
Let me tell you something. We recently traveled, and I got
Bless you.
I rented a vehicle. I said, hey, we've got like 8 people, so I need a good-sized vehicle. They gave me a Suburban. If you're driving a smaller SUV or a car, when you drive a Suburban, you have to realize there's a lot more vehicle there than any other vehicle. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Said me when I was backing into the trying to back into a parking place. All right. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
Done. Here is your question. This comes from the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika, 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. Here we go with your question. You'll have 7 seconds to answer, and here it is. This fort was known to be the location where the Civil War began. What is it? Ready, go.
Fort Bragg. I have no idea.
Is it Fort Bragg? Well, listen, it's going to be one of those forts. Fort Sumter is where the Civil War began. Yeah, I wouldn't have known that either. I wouldn't have known that either. We'll give you the free money consolation, and that is a food
Free
and
back
fun,
rub from Davey.
food and fun card. It's worth
Nice.
$25. Stand by, Mike. Davey's going to hook you up, okay?
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much. Fort Sumter was the location. No back rub from you, Davey? Oh, no.
But he was so excited.
He's 50. He doesn't have to do that.
There you go.
All right, I have a few pretty cool stories I want to throw your way. You want to call? You want to complain about something? I get it. You want to do it on the message board, whether it be on YouTube or you can watch live through the app where you can listen anywhere, through your phone. And or some people have phone numbers and they're texting us.
Yes.
Feel free to bitch and complain all you want by calling right now, 315-736-0186.
There you go.
315-736-0186.
Yeah,
right
don't
now.
fight like Gen Z in a TikTok comment section. Give us a call.
I thought this was interesting, and I wonder if it is true. A new study shows that almost half of all Americans feel like people have become more rude since COVID.
Oh, absolutely.
On top of that, a third of people say they almost always or often see people acting rude in public. I told you that the situation that I had at the hockey game, and this was last year's hockey game, the Pioneers. And the guy yelling at these 2 girls. They had to be like 15, 16 years old. I couldn't stay out of it. Like,
no, you had to step in. They were young girls.
Making us look like idiots. And then I wrote about one that occurred that we had more than, I think we had 3 listeners who were at the game witness. And they all said this guy was terrible to Geneseo fans. And it's like, I don't know. Is it COVID or were these people born this way? Kind of wonder. Here's
a little entitlement.
Here, Jake. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yes. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning,
Bill. Are you an ordained minister?
I am. Bless you, my son.
Is that no? Seriously,
it's legitimate. It is legitimate.
He will marry you.
I've
he
been there. Thank you.
Officiate your marriage.
I really don't
Okay,
plan
Bill,
on
turn off my microphone.
marrying anybody. So I am. So for those that don't know, the reason Jake is asking is on Saturday, I will officiate the ceremony with Andrew and his wife to be.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I got to say that it's funny because and Jake, Andrew and his fiance chose there are different.
He's going to rise from the ocean.
There are different scripts that you can follow.
Like Aphrodite.
And Andrew sent me basically the script that he wants me to follow. I have to do. It's very religious. I was really surprised. I mean, I am currently working on my sermon that I will give. So yeah,
I think it's great.
It's free parking and everything. I'm going to tell you, Jake.
There you go. You get to park in the parking lot with the big cross on it.
Yeah, it's
now. Do you have to go? Do you have to take a course or something for it? I don't.
Now you're going to feel much less of me when I start answering these questions. You sure you want the answer?
Yeah.
You could always lie.
You just sign up. I signed up. I paid the price, and boom. I even have. I don't even know what they call it. It's the green thing the priest puts around his neck, or any color. I could have picked any color.
Yeah.
And it goes down, and mine I had to have shortened because I was stepping on it. It was a little long for me. But, you fill out paperwork. It is meant for people who maybe don't want to have a religious ceremony, or someone who wants to have a ceremony outdoors, and the priest won't do it outside the church. So, I
think it's wonderful.
And I've done one ceremony previously, and I will be just very much like going to having a state senator. Joe Griffo's done a lot of weddings, so or a mayor could do a wedding ceremony. So
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I have one more thing. Can I tell you?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Now, that woman they calls Katie Aiello, is she the one that lives in Herkimer, then Utica, or something like that?
I don't want to open that can of worms here, but I'll tell you this. She says her residence, she has a residence in Utica, which allows her to be on the Common Council. Her critics say that her kids go to school in Herkimer. That makes that her primary residence. All I can tell you is everybody's dropped it, and they're moving forward. But you're right. That's the controversy.
Talking to you more now than ever before.
Well, she's seen the light. She's seen the light, Jake.
After he got ordained, everything changed.
Well, once I became a minister, it changed everything. And God bless all people, even those who I disagree with.
I think Megan's got the answer.
I think she does. All right, Jake. Thank you, man.
Listen, have a great day, guys.
All right,
bye.
You do the same.
Bye-bye.
Ann in Rome. Hello, Ann.
Hi,
Good
Ann.
morning.
Good morning. I have 2 points I want to make. First of all, they flew these illegals in illegally. Joe Biden. Of course, we can't say it was him because he probably didn't know what he was doing anyway. But they came here illegally. Get them out of here. They're criminals. We don't need them. And anybody that wants to support them, they can have them, take care of them themselves, and let them go live with them. That's the first point.
Well, and you know, Ann, you and I have so much in common. And
yes, we're both cute.
And that is really the most important thing in common. And, I'm just not going to, I ain't arguing with you. So
it's okay.
Yeah. So your second point.
The second point is hats off to the county executive and all the legislators for voting to sue Governor Hot Mess, because you know what a fan I am of hers.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to send a message to Tony Picenti. Tony, if you ran for governor like I told you, you wouldn't have to be going through all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Run for governor. That's all it. That's it.
All right, Ann.
Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
And thank you.
He would do very well in upstate New York, but he has to do the southern tier in Albany.
And do I want to comment on anything there with Ann? I nothing further except she's going through her own battle, and we're thinking about her at all times.
She sounds feisty as ever.
Everybody is as well, and she is feisty. Sue, good morning in Utica. Hi, Sue. Or wherever you are.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're on the radio. Hello, Sue. Test 1, 2. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear?
Good morning.
She's gathering her
All right,
thoughts.
Sue, go ahead. Tell me what you're thinking.
I'm calling to complain about politicians.
Okay.
Especially this new one, Constantino. Constantino.
Yeah, he's on the radio this morning. Anthony Constantino. He'll be actually in studio at 8:40 this morning.
His call to fame is a sign worshiping Trump. I think we need to get rid of the extremists on both sides.
Okay.
Come to the middle and stop the insanity a little bit.
Yeah. We do seem to be at a very heightened level of insanity right now. Would you? Yeah, I know you agree with that.
And our politicians seem to just try to advance themselves instead of looking out for the district they're supposed to represent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Constantino realizes there's a lot of federal workers in this area, and the VA clinic is in Rome.
Right.
And he just goes along with everything Trump. I just don't think it's a good idea for any politician, Democrat or Republican. And by the way, I am a Republican, but kind of an old school Republican, a little bit saner than what's going on right now.
Right now. Well, I will have him in studio next hour, and I promise you I will ask that question.
Rake him over the coals. Do a good job.
Okay. I will do my best.
We don't do that here in the Keeler studio. We treat everybody fairly.
Thank you, Sue. All right. Thank you. And there she goes. Okay, I got a break. Listen, next hour, we're going to speak with this is the...
Robin Kaminsky.
I was trying to look at her title. She's a manager of the Humane Society in Rome. You know where that dog was, where the puppy was left and ultimately died. Robin Kaminsky, will speak with her coming up next hour. And in studio, he's running for NY21, as Sue was talking about, Anthony Constantino. Elise Stefanik's seat. We'll talk to him. Coming up, next hour, news is next.
Mattress Express's closeout sale on brand new leftover inventory and floor models. Right now, buy a king or queen and get a free adjustable base. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans available as well.
Fix all your fender benders, small or big. Call Malgeri's Auto Body before you call your insurance company. Let Malgeri's take care of everything from start to finish. They work with all major providers and use factory paint and parts, plus laser measuring to make your vehicle new again. It's 100% guaranteed, and Malgeri's always details your car before they return it. Malgeri's Auto Body, now located at 1216 Bleecker Street, Utica. Call 315-735-4488, keeping you on the road since 1928.
In Africa, 5-year-old Chiru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. But together, we can end their walk by providing clean water close by. Instead of spending hours walking to get water that makes them sick, girls can be in a classroom and moms will gain back time to care for their families. Sons and daughters can grow up strong, finally free of sicknesses. It's true. When you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
Keep up to date with what's going on in Central New York by downloading the WIBX mobile app. Stream the station anytime, anywhere, and also receive updates on breaking local news. Download the WIBX mobile app on the Apple or Google Play Store.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Israel goes back on the attack. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Hamas cannot be part of the future in the Gaza Strip. Full stop.
That's Israeli Foreign Ministry spokesman Oren Marmerstein after a new round of airstrikes bombarded Gaza, where health officials say more than 400 Palestinians have been killed, including women and children.
The IDF saying it's going after Hamas targets like officials and infrastructure. The renewed fighting comes during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, and footage this morning shows the widespread extent of some of the damage across the Strip. The first stage of the ceasefire ended 2 weeks ago. Negotiators have yet to hammer out a second stage, which would free the remaining hostages.
Fox's Alex Hogan. Out of the war in Ukraine, President Trump keeps trying to stop it, and we'll talk to Russian leader Vladimir Putin today.
The call between the two leaders comes after a week of negotiations. That began when the United States and Ukraine agreed on a plan for a 30-day ceasefire. We could soon find out if Russia is ready to sign on to it too.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. A federal judge has given the Trump administration till noon to answer questions about controversial weekend deportations he had ordered halted and determine why the order was ignored, but White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells Fox,
"We know we are going to win this battle in court."
She maintains the planes carrying alleged Venezuelan gang members in the U.S. illegally were in international airspace when the judge ordered the planes to turn around. A first in Texas, a midwife criminally charged, accused of performing abortions.
Maria Rojas is charged with 2 felonies, illegal performance of an abortion and practicing medicine without a license under Texas' near-total abortion ban. State Attorney General Ken Paxton says Rojas illegally operated at least 3 clinics in the Houston area where the procedures were performed. Opponents of the ban say it's too vague regarding when medically necessary exceptions are allowed, and a bill has been filed in the current state legislative session to clarify that.
That's Tanya J. Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or consumercellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
They're in mourning in Southern California after a sheriff's deputy was killed in a high-speed chase that left his patrol car split in 2.
The officer was pursuing a suspected car thief when the horrific crash occurred. 34-year-old San Bernardino deputy Hector Cuevas Jr. was pronounced dead at the scene after he slammed into a car and then careened into a light pole. Police say Cuevas was trying to pull 22-year-old Ryan Turner over when Turner sped away, resulting in the pursuit. Turner was later captured on foot. He faces vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated charges. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
The Federal Reserve will assess the economy starting this morning in a 2-day meeting that is not expected to lead to an interest rate cut this time. On Wall Street, stock futures down modestly before today's trading. This happened just after midnight, way above us.
And undocking confirmed.
That's NASA TV.
Freedom is free of its moorings. Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore begin their belated trip home.
Those 2 astronauts are on a SpaceX capsule on its way back to Earth now, finally, after they spent more than 9 months stranded at the International Space Station.
The pair was only supposed to be there for about 8 days, but that all changed after NASA determined the Boeing Starliner spacecraft they arrived on had issues and wasn't safe enough for their return to Earth. So a 4-person crew arrived over the weekend to take over for the departing crew. And if all goes as planned, the Dragon capsule should splash down in the Gulf of America off of Florida's Panhandle just before 6 p.m. Tuesday.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Days before spring is finally sprung, the boys of summer are playing. The Major League Baseball season opener underway now in Tokyo. The Los Angeles Dodgers, led by Japanese star Shohei Ohtani, playing the Chicago Cubs. L.A. leads 3-1 in the 7th inning. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. It is 29 degrees under sunny skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. The case of an inmate's death at Midstate Correctional Facility will now be presented before a grand jury. Authorities are investigating the death of 22-year-old Messiah Nantwi, who died shortly after being transferred to the facility on March 1st. Nantwi's cause of death has not been released pending grand jury proceedings next month. So far, 15 staff members linked to the incident have been placed on leave by Governor Kathy Hochul. The Onondaga County District Attorney's Office is acting as special prosecutor. A new AAA study finds that a growing number of Americans are driving while high on marijuana, and local authorities say that's a problem. According to AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, 53% of marijuana users admit to using the drug an hour or less before getting behind the wheel, while an additional 20% said they use it around 2 to 3 hours before driving. While some of these marijuana users may think they drive normally under the influence, authorities say that's a lie. Marijuana, they say, slows reaction time much like alcohol and can also cause brain fog, fatigue, and impairment. Driving under the influence is a misdemeanor. Nearly 24 Forever 21 stores in New York will be closing as the retail clothing chain files for bankruptcy for the second time in 6 years. The fast fashion pioneer plans to close all of its roughly 354 U.S. stores as a result. Forever 21 has 10 stores across New Jersey and 21 in New York, with them mainly in the city and on Long Island. And the Powerball jackpot is soaring after there were no grand prize winners on St. Patrick's Day. The next drawing is set for Wednesday, and it'll now be worth at least $416 million. The cash option on that works out to just over $194 million. Yesterday's big drawing wasn't a complete bust, however. 2 tickets, one sold in Colorado and the other in Pennsylvania, are good for $1 million each. Your WIBX news time is 8:07. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
We'll continue with clearing skies. A little bit colder this morning, but not terrible. And remember, it's still March. It's still officially wintertime. But milder days ahead here. Sunny today, 55. Tonight, mainly clear, 35. 20s to the north. Wednesday, sunshine, 65 degrees. Next round of rain showers in here Thursday. Maybe rain showers over to snow showers Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
It's 29 degrees under sunny skies in Marcy. In sports, the Giants are still looking to add a quarterback to the roster. According to the NFL Network, the G-men are scheduled to visit with free agent QB Jameis Winston today. Winston threw for over 2,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions for the Cleveland Browns last season. The Eagles, they're bringing in a late addition in free agency. The team announced Monday that Azeez Ojulari has agreed to a 1-year contract to join the defending Super Bowl champs. The pass rusher has 6 sacks in 11 games for the Giants last season and was taken by New York in the second round out of Georgia in the 2021 draft. The 24-year-old has struggled with injuries over the past 3 years. The Jets made more free agent signings official on Monday. The green and white announced the signings of wide receiver Tyler Johnson, tight end Stone Smart, edge rusher Rashad Weaver, cornerback Chris Boyd, and defensive lineman Jay Tufele. Gang Green was announced the re-signing of cornerback Isaiah Oliver as well. In other news, the Texans signed quarterback Derek Stingley Jr. to a 3-year, $90 million extension to make him the highest-paid quarterback in NFL history, and the Steelers added veteran defensive back Juan Thornhill to a 1-year deal. The Yankees came up short after falling to the Toronto Blue Jays 6-5. Brent Hedrick started the game and allowed 3 runs over an inning of work. Baron Stewart was charged with the loss. New York hosts the Boston Red Sox this afternoon. The Mets continued their spring on Monday with split squad action. New York topped the Miami Marlins 6-5 and was shut out by the Tampa Bay Rays 2-0. The Mets visit the Houston Astros tomorrow. The NCAA's men's basketball tournament begins tonight with a pair of first 4 matchups. St. John's faces Omaha in the first round Thursday night in Providence. UConn begins its quest for a three-peat against Oklahoma Friday night in Raleigh. And Rory McIlroy is the winner of the Players' Championship in Florida. He defeated J.J. Spawn Monday morning in a 3-hole playoff to win his second Players' title. Your WIBX news time is 8:09 and it's 29 degrees under sunny skies. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Coming up this hour, I'm really looking forward to speaking with Anthony Constantino in studio. He's the guy you've been hearing commercials about, running in NY21. Is he running as a Republican? Because the county chairs are the ones who will make that decision, and then the election will occur. But there could also be an independent who could run as well. We'll find out when we speak with him coming up in just a few minutes. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is now accepting new patients. The Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they're accepting new patients right now. Dr. Shemaleski, Dr. Zielinski, accepting new patients. Call them at 315-507-4751. Or if you're looking to get to the bottom of something, you don't need a referral. Just make an appointment with the Falcon Clinic. You may have an issue, something medically that you can't seem to figure out. You've gone from doctor to doctor. it would be a good stop. Dr. Shemolevsky, Dr. Zielinski, extremely thorough, and they get to the bottom of things. I highly, highly recommend them. Dr. Zielinski and Shemolevsky both do an osteopathic maneuver, which lasts about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. And if you're having pains, you're having issues, you're having back pain or shoulder pain or whatever it is, it's kind of like going to a chiropractor, but it's more in-depth. And it takes, as I said, about 30 to 40 minutes. And I do it once a month and swear by it. I'm telling you. Call today, Falcon Clinic, 315-507-4751, online at their website or at their clinic, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually, in fact, true. How would you like up to $4,000 of free windows? And when I say $4,000 of free windows, I mean $4,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $4,000 to get $4,000 free. You just get up to $4,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of these restrictions are income-based, and you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
It's March basketball, and you could win $1 million in the $1 Million Bracket Challenge on WIBX. Brought to you by Tony's Pizza in Washington Mills, home of the Grand Lunch and Dinner Italian Buffet. Weekdays 11 till 8. If your bracket isn't perfect, you can still win $10,000. Just sign up now at WIBX950.com. Select your bracket starting this Sunday, March 16th, and get those predictions in before March 18th.
No purchase necessary.
Play the $1 Million Bracket Challenge from Tony's in Washington Mills on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler in the Morning, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Hey, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. I got to say, Chuck Sedella and everyone there, boy, they work so hard to get you in and out. That drive-thru is so fast. You know, their donuts are made there fresh every single day. And their coffee is Seattle's best. It is a great cup of coffee. Or a great latte. Or a great iced coffee. Or however you drink it. It's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Robin Kaminsky is the manager at the Humane Society in Rome, and she is on the line right now. Robin, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. This story last week was really disturbing. And
heartbreaking.
It is the story of you have a puppy corral, and explain how this person dropped off the puppy. Ultimately, the puppy died when you guys was passed away by the time you guys came in the morning. Walk us through what you believe happened.
Okay, so just the way the corral is set up, it's closer to the road. And the gate was open, so if it was a dog put in there, which quite often will come in the morning, people have surrendered a dog into there, but the gate is closed, obviously. This morning the gate was open, so we all came on in. Still a lot of snow, bank, but some had melted.
Yep.
And one of our employees went out, nice day, dogs could go out early in the morning, went to walk the corral just to make for sure appropriate toys and such were out there, and found the puppy passed away. So, hard to say, was it alive? Was it dead?
Yeah.
Obviously very ill because it didn't make any attempt to walk around. And the ground just looked like they had maybe dropped it over the fence because the ground was kind of patted down. So best of our guess.
What kind of dog was it?
Probably a pit bull mix. It's hard. We try very hard not to say what breeds they are because indeed you can get quite tricked by that.
Right.
They may look a certain breed but looked as if it had some pit bull, maybe some Rottie, but young, probably around the 4-month age.
Yeah. Do you have you made any progress, have police made any progress in trying to find out who dropped off the puppy?
So I can tell you the Sheriff's Department has been absolutely gold star wonderful.
Yeah.
We've built a new relationship with them, and they are our go-to people for anything that happens like this. And the one deputy that came out has been great. He covers this area. He's, building a relationship with us, which has been very helpful.
Yeah.
We had some neighbors that heard some commotion over at the shelter with a loud truck that early morning hours, but couldn't really see anything. We also have had a couple of phone calls in with, I think I may have known, but as we take a description of the dog, it hasn't been anybody that fits.
Yeah.
So
right now it's been a dead end.
Yes. And often that happens with the abandoned animals. But what we try to do here is, first thing, we all support each other because we're here for the well-being of the animals. So we have everybody get-together meeting. We can maybe complain and gripe and groan and moan and be upset and angry, and then we move forward. But this is why we're here, to take everything that happens and put it into a positive light.
Yeah.
So educating the community is going to be big top on our list. Compassion, caring needs to be taught in the schools to young children.
Right.
Not taught, but explained and encouraged. It's not a learned thing. It's an encouraged thing. Maybe they're not getting it at home, and there's such a strong link between animal abuse, domestic violence, child abuse. It's all interlinked.
Yeah.
So we're just a part of that wheel to make the world better. And that's kind of where we try to go.
And do you feel obviously when something terrible like this happens, it does give you the opportunity to inform the public, in some cases educate people who might not know. What do you do? Because we had a lot of people say that part of the problem is that when you surrender a dog, you end up having to pay money. And for people who don't have that money, they probably shouldn't have the dog in the first place, but they're trying to give up the dog. What do you, if they feel like we can't afford this, we don't have a way to turn, we don't have anywhere to go, what is your suggestion to those people? And please, it is no excuse. I'm not implying that, but what do you tell those people who feel they don't have an option?
Yep. So they can give us a call. We can try to brainstorm some solutions.
Yeah.
One really important thing we have is a pet food pantry. You get in a bind. If I could just get dog food for the next 2 weeks, I'd be okay.
Right.
So we can sometimes set people up with food. We can also encourage them and talk them through making a savings account for their dog or cat, which, $5 a week. You put it aside in a little piggy bank and you don't touch it and you have it there. We also very much encourage them to just get to a vet for a well check, because then you become an established client.
Right.
And it changes the whole aspect of things. If you tell us, I haven't taken him anywhere because he's never been sick, it's a red flag, because you're not going to be able to get in. But if you can get yourself established with a veterinary clinic, they'll see you.
And explain why
better.
If you can, explain why that's important. Like anything else, you need to protect the animals that you currently have, right?
Yep. taking ownership of an animal, again, it's education that you really have to think about it before you make that commitment. And veterinary clinics can only see, the local veterinary clinics can only see their clients. So you have to get established as a client, or else you're going to end up going to one of the emergency clinics, which are very expensive.
Yeah.
And so just get yourself established with a local vet. The importance of that is huge. Just a well check. And you can talk to any veterinarian and say, I can only do this. What would be the most important thing I start with? Get your rabies vaccine done and then pick away at the other vaccines. Most veterinarians will definitely work out a plan so you're not hit with those huge veterinary bills. Those come from lack of veterinary care.
Right.
It, kind of spirals.
Mm-hmm. I spoke with a farmer who said that they have animals dropped off all the time. I think this is more common than we really know.
Yep. So people think, I'll just take that cat, I'll drop him off at a farm because it's a farm. I personally live on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can tell you that farmers aren't necessarily looking for dropped-off animals, but it's just a misconception that people have. And again, getting out in the community, if we can set up some sort of an educational program to tell people farmers aren't looking for you to drop your dog off there.
Yeah.
Call a humane society. Let us talk you through. We may not be able to take in your pet, but we have lots of networks for organizations that maybe will be able to help you.
I had said that if I guarantee if somebody were to call the radio and say, I have a dog that I can't keep any longer, we're gonna drop it off unless somebody would adopt the pet. I feel like there'd be 10 people on the line saying, I'll take that dog. I will take the dog to prevent anything bad from happening. There's a community that is really sympathetic to animals, and it's a pretty large community.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I agree. And there's some great new foster-only networks that have started up that are beyond fabulous, because a dog skipping the path of an animal shelter and going to a home and being fostered in a home is huge. And so they were brilliant to set up that network. But when we talk to people on the phone, we'll encourage that.
Yeah.
They may not be successful here at the shelter. It's a long road for some dogs or cats.
Mm-hmm.
So try a neighbor maybe will foster your cat or dog till you can find a forever home. And sometimes that buys us enough time to find a solution.
Well, Robin, you guys do a great job out there. And I'm sorry this happened, but it is a moment where, things, you get publicity and people talk about it. And that conversation I do think is important.
And hopefully changes some outcomes in the future.
And maybe does prevent this from happening in the future. Obviously, if somebody has any bit of knowledge where they saw something or something showed up on their Ring camera that might maybe lend something to police to try to find out who dropped this puppy off, they would reach out to the sheriff's department.
Yep, the sheriff's department, or they can call here, because I have one deputy who's reached out and has been helping us. I could contact him. So either way, sheriff's department or the Humane Society of Rome.
All right, Robin, thank you so much.
Yep, you have a nice day.
Thank you, Robin.
Thanks. Robin Kaminsky is with the Humane Society of Rome. You could also call Crime Stoppers, North Philly Crime Stoppers. It's all anonymous.
Yes.
And you could say, I heard something, and this is what I heard, and this is what we feel. This is the evidence that we have. Your name would never be used. You're not even giving your name when you submit the tip.
Yes. Me3 Tips mobile app, or also on their phone number.
On their phone number as well. So check that out. Got a break. We'll come back. Coming up, we'll be speaking in studio with the guy you've heard a lot of commercials in regards to, the 21st Congressional District, Anthony Constantino, coming up in studio on WIBX.
Keep your Bobcat machines up and running this season, no matter how bad winter gets, with regular service from Warner Sales and Service in Rome, New York. Their factory-trained technicians are committed to keeping your Bobcat machines operating smoothly day after day, job after job, with genuine Bobcat parts. So keep going and keep earning, even in the coldest weather, with regular service on your Bobcat machines from Warner Sales and Service in Rome. Genuine Bobcat parts and service. Why use anything else? Stop by your authorized Bobcat dealer, Warner Sales and Service in Rome. Online at warnerss.com.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:25. It is 30 degrees under sunny skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up next. As expected, Oneida County will be filing a lawsuit against Governor Hochul. The governor issued an executive order banning local governments from hiring thousands of corrections officers who were fired following the recent prison strike. County Executive Anthony Pacenti claims that the governor's orders violates the rights of the fired officers. He says once the lawsuit is in the court's hand, the county will hire many of those officers to fill in spots in the sheriff's department and other agencies. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warns more arrests like Columbia grad and pro-Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil are coming as he faces possible deportation. Khalil's attorney, Brad Parker, says his client could not only be removed solely by a determination of the Secretary of State since the government has not pressed charges at this point, adding his client does not have any affiliation with Hamas. It comes as a doctoral student from India was self-deported last week after her visa was revoked, and another Columbia student was arrested in Newark on Friday for her part in the takeover of Hamilton Hall last April. Rubio says it's not likely either will be released. Harvard University will make tuition free for more students. The school is eliminating tuition for students from families earning up to $200,000 annually. That's a big push-up from the previous $85,000 income threshold. This as elite universities look for ways to maintain campus diversity now that the Supreme Court has banned race-based admission practices. Harvard joins schools including MIT, the University of Pennsylvania, and Caltech with similar thresholds for free tuition. A new national poll shows more than 1 in 3 parents say their child has bad dental problems in the last 2 years. The C.S. Mott Children's Hospital National Poll on Children's Health found poor hygiene habits were mostly to blame, mainly in kids who didn't follow recommended brushing, flossing, and rinsing practices. Researchers polled 1,800 parents with children ages 4 to 17 and found that 64% of parents say their child brushes twice daily and 60% say they brush for at least 2 minutes. A majority of parents said their child last saw a dentist within the past year, but over 10% said it's been longer than that. The American Dental Association recommends children have a checkup every 6 months for early detection of tooth decay and learn about how to protect their teeth. WIBX News Time is 8:28. It's 30 degrees under Marcy. Here is your full weather forecast.
We'll continue with clearing skies. A little bit colder this morning, but not terrible. And remember, it's still March. It's still officially wintertime. Milder days ahead here. Sunny today, 55. Tonight, mainly clear, 35. 20s to the north. Wednesday, sunshine, 65 degrees. Next round of rain showers in here Thursday. Maybe rain showers over to snow showers Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stejcik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
It's 31 degrees now. It went up a degree. Sunny skies. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
All right, coming up, we'll speak with Anthony Constantino in studio, running for Elise Stefanik's seat in the special election that has not been set yet. So we're waiting for her to resign and become the ambassador to the United Nations, a process that we thought would have happened around New Year's Day. But has taken much longer than that.
Yeah, 3 months later.
We'll speak with Constantino coming up in just a little bit. It's 8:30 at WIBX.
Stop by White's Farm Supply today to see how Cub Cadet commercial equipment is built for business. Now through March 31st, take 20% off all Cub Cadet commercial lawnmowers built to endure the demands of serious landscapers with powerful engines, wide cutting decks, and premium comfort. Don't delay. Head to White's Farm Supply today. Inventory may vary by dealer. Cannot be applied with any other discount. No cash value except where prohibited. Promotion is subject to change. Other restrictions may apply. Call your dealer or visit cubcadet.com for details.
We're the power in power equipment. White's Farm Supply. Okay, we need brakes and tires. Check the battery too, please, and how about an oil change?
There's one local shop that really knows how important it is to keep our youngest passengers safe. Mulgeri's Auto Repair, family owned and operated since 1928. That's 3 generations of family that's been looking out for your family. Trusted for nearly 100 years to keep your car on the road, plus towing, brakes and tires, and good, low mileage used cars. Mulgeri's Auto Repair, 501 Albany Street, Utica. Call 315-733-5033.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right, Davey, I don't know if you've been following it all, but the game between the Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs is the first game in Major League Baseball, regular game of the season.
Is Stefan there and he's giving you reports?
Stefan is there but does not have a ride home. He's calling for help.
He better call you to give him a ride.
That's not true. And this game is in Japan, being played right now. They're going into the top of the 9th inning.
Oh, boy.
And the Dodgers are leading the Chicago Cubs 3-1 right now. And I'm rooting for the Cubs. I don't want even though it's just one win, I don't know about what your thought is, but I don't want the Dodgers to get any wins.
I kind of liked the Dodgers back when Don Manley was the manager.
Yeah.
Because me having Don Manley is my favorite Yankee.
Okay.
I kind of followed them, but I'm
Not
in the
anymore.
same.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I want the Cubs to beat the Dodgers.
And the Cubs are the home team, so they will get last at bat in Japan. So that's going on right now. What else do I have here this morning? McElroy won the Players' Championship. I thought that was pretty cool. You're not impressed.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Okay. I thought it was pretty cool that he's Irish and he won on St. Patrick's Day because of the playoff.
It's a conspiracy.
Maybe.
The only thing that's eluding him to complete the Grand Slam, as I told Megan this morning during the Sports 6, is the Masters.
Right.
He hasn't won a major since 2014. He had the lead last year in the U.S. Open that Bryson DeChambeau ended up capitalizing on and winning. Rory can't hold these big leads in these majors. Even though, sorry to interrupt you, but even though he's one of the betting favorites already, and the Masters is 3 weeks away
he's one of the favorites.
until we hear Jim Nantz say, "Hello, friends."
Hello, friends.
Him and Scotty Scheffler are the favorites right now to put the green jacket on.
Here's Rory winning the Players' Championship on St. Patrick's Day. Here's audio. Maybe?
Give it a moment.
It's not playing. Don't know why.
Threaten it with a closed fist.
But it's not playing. Anyway, he walks away a big winner. on St. Patrick's Day.
He's a 2-time winner to win the Players' Championship with Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Scotty Scheffler. Rory won it back in 2019.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Davey.
You're welcome.
I have now been logged out of my system. I don't know why. Boom. Just like that. Let's try this again and see if we get anywhere. I think we do. Astronauts finally coming home. It'll be today that they'll be back getting a ride on SpaceX. Here's audio.
Heading into the home stretch for
I spent a lot of time putting music behind
Davey
that.
put a lot of music. He worked hard on this.
He's a Dodger fan.
On his birthday, by the way.
It was a privilege to live and work and be a part of a mission and a team that spans the globe, working together in cooperation for the benefit of humanity.
Staring out into the night.
Crew 9, safe charting home.
I'm going home.
And we'll be coming home, splashing down in the ocean, so that's what we're looking forward to.
He did a version for us, and he did a version for the radio station down the hallway for the Frog, which is country, right? I thought that was pretty good. I'm not sure. I like the rock version better. Here's his country version.
Heading into the home stretch for Williams and Wilmore, the beginning of the end for a 9.5-month mission in space.
On behalf of Crew 9, it was a privilege to live and work and be a part of a mission and a team that spans the globe, working together in cooperation for the benefit of humanity.
Maybe surrounded by a million people, I
Crew 9,
still feel all alone.
safe charting home.
I want to go.
No offense, Davey, but I like the rock version better. Just my opinion.
I like Daughtry over. That's Blake
I think
Shelton.
so, too. This is Blake Shelton.
Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore begin their belated trip home.
I'll be alright.
And undocking confirmed.
I'll be home tonight.
Hopefully, we did you proud.
I'm coming back home.
Crew 9's going home.
I prefer the Michael Bublé version.
You do. Okay, so you don't like that version either. To me, this is the...
Heading into the home stretch for Williams and Wilmore, the beginning of the end for a 9.5-month mission in space.
On behalf of Crew 9, it was a privilege to live and work and be a part of a mission and a team that spans the globe, working together in cooperation.
This is Daughtry, right?
Humanity.
Staring out into the night.
Crew 9, safe charting home.
I'm going home.
And we'll be coming home, splashing down in the ocean, so that's what we're looking forward to.
I miss him so much, and I cannot wait for him to hug his neck. It brings to mind family and all the people on the ground who support us.
I can't wait for her to come home and enjoy the beach with us.
We're coming back before long, so don't make all those plans without me.
So I'm going home.
Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore begin their belated trip home.
I'm going home.
And undocking confirmed.
Crew 9's going home.
Hopefully, we did you proud.
And they're also coming back taller. Did you know that?
Is it taller?
Yes.
Not shorter.
NASA has found that the height of astronauts increases approximately 3% over the 3 to 4 days of weightlessness in space. So if you want to get a little bit taller, instead of doing that surgery where people break your leg bones and install metal rods, go become an astronaut.
Maybe you should fly up to the space station for a few days, Bill, and then come
Davey.
back.
What do you think you turned 50 and now you can bust chops? I mean, really?
You're really giving that man a back rub now to say you're sorry.
Today is National Sloppy Joe Day, and to celebrate, we...
Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe.
I don't know if you're an Adam Sandler fan, but...
Come on. Sloppy Joe is up. Sloppy Joe, you down. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe.
Lunch Ladyland. Gotta love Adam Sandler.
And then, remember in the Roadrunner cartoons when Wile E. Coyote would make a fake wall that would look just like a road?
Yes,
right?
like a train tunnel.
And this YouTuber, Mark Roper, is going viral after he tested a Tesla's self-driving feature to see if it would know to stop before the Looney Tunes technology.
Oh, no.
So he blocked off a road with a fake wall the size of a movie screen, painted it to look like the road kept going. He wanted to see if it would trick the Tesla into crashing through it.
And what happened?
And let me see what the audio is here.
I'm in my Tesla on autopilot going towards a fake Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner painted wall. I'm doing this to see if Tesla's autopilot can be tricked, because it famously only relies on simple cameras to navigate, as opposed to much more expensive tech. So I accelerated the Tesla, and as the wall crept closer and closer, holy crap. So I can definitively say Tesla would absolutely smash through a fake wall without even a slight tap on the brakes.
Did not even slow down, kept going right through it. And the way he did it, he set it up so that it would break away without causing damage to the vehicle. And he did it where it would, on an angle, almost like when in the cartoon, where it would look like it smashed through and you'd see these sharp angles. It was really cool. There's a video out there if you wanted to check it out. Jagged points is what the circle would
there
be
you
like.
go, but
Like the cartoon. But the vehicle did not stop
no, that's
for
not
for the painted. The wall was there. It looked like it was a road. So the vehicle went right through it.
I'm genuinely shocked the people at Tesla didn't have that test themselves.
And a new study reveals that, do I have one more break left?
You have one more break, and then you can go all the way up to the 59.
Okay, so I'm probably not going to take the break here. I'll take it at the top. This, I think, interesting new study shows that revenge quitting is on the rise. Basically, a lot of Gen Z workers are fed up, and they're not happy, and you know how that goes. Purposefully quitting in the inconventional and usually in an unconventional way. So the idea is that they are quitting their job in protest. Here's audio here. If you
I quit. 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 I quit.
That's just what it sounds like
That
when
sounds like
they.
Eric Cartman from South Park.
Well, that's exactly what it was.
Oh, wow. I'm a true millennial.
Sounds like exactly what it is. All right. In studio, we had to stall a little bit for him to go to the bathroom. We wanted to freshen up and get ready. In studio right now is Anthony Constantino. He is vying for the Stefanik seat in the special election for NY21 and wearing a white Make America Great Again. Anthony, good morning.
Happy to be here.
We've heard your voice a lot.
Thank you.
No surprise, you're drinking a Red Bull.
Yeah, right. Red Bull this morning.
That's morning.
Yeah.
What's afternoon?
Well, no, I do it in the morning and caffeine in the morning, and then I stop.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because you want to sleep a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I go around. I know. I talking to one of the chairs last night, and they said, "What do you doing?" Text me. I said, "It's only 10 o'clock."
It's only 10 o'clock. All right. So tell us a little bit about you, if you could. I mean, we've heard the commercials. We do know you're a Trump supporter. She's going to mess with the mic just
all
a
right,
little
we got
bit.
this, right?
Right into that. So tell us a little bit about you, who you are, where you come from, all of that stuff.
Sure. I'm used to doing everything very quickly in life. Unlike some of the other candidates that are interested in the seat that said they'll move here in the event they get picked. I have 2 homes in the district, and I also have an incredible business in Amsterdam called Sticker Mule. I created my business very quickly 15 years ago.
Okay.
My co-founder's 85 now, also a lifelong Republican. And we were talking 15 years ago. He never used the internet before. I BS'd about the idea of creating an internet company, and 3 months later we had Sticker Mule. Took off right away, and that was the beginning of me just learning to do things quickly. Took off right away, grew to 1,200 people, and I actually ended up being one of the first people canceled in 2016. I was one of the first people canceled in 2016. I made a $500 donation to the president, and I also wrote maybe 2 or 3 tweets in support of him for that, grave.
How were you canceled?
Well, an influencer found out about the donation. They saw the tweets, and one day I just woke up to tens of thousands of hate mail.
Well, they were attacking you.
Yeah, they were attacking my customer service team, my company. It was just, one of those. It wasn't called cancellation back then. It was just, look, this guy, it was candidate Trump. It wasn't even President Trump. And so.
Where are you from, by the way?
Yeah, so I have 2 homes on Edinburgh, and then I have another residence. My longest owned home is on Edinburgh, and then I have a residence in Amsterdam.
Did you grow up there? Is that where you grew up?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been here.
I want to ask you if the chair people, I think we call it, right? If the chairs do not select you, what do you do?
Everybody's asking that question. The thing is, right now I'm at 42% in the poll, so I think they sort of have to select me. The other candidates.
What polls are you at?
We ran 2 internal polls, and we're also working with Tony Fabrizio, President Trump's poll, so we're going to be running another poll really soon. But we did 2 internal polls, 2,300 respondents in the first one, about 2,000 in the second one, and I was number 1 in both of the polls. Improved in the second one, and so some of the other candidates that are being floated at single digits, I'm at 42%. So I was talking to some people that are involved in national politics on the Republican Party, and they said, look, the amount of investment that this party's going to have to spend if they don't pick me is going to be ridiculous. So it doesn't make any sense, and they have to respect the voters. So
you have another businessman here locally, Joe Rakowski. Do you know Joe? Have you met Joe?
I met Joe once.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he had texted in this morning saying, let Anthony know I'd like to sit down with him. That's interesting. Would you sit down with him?
If he wants to endorse me, that'd be great.
Okay.
But,
otherwise, you would not be interested.
I don't really. I mean, the only purpose would be to get an endorsement. I don't really know who he was before this whole thing, but I look into everybody, and people say I'm great at opposition research or whatever, and I just don't like bad behavior. And I said, look, why did this guy? He donated max contribution to a Democrat in 2019. That struck me badly. And then also the woman-owned business thing. He said he's the businessman in the thing, and then he's running as a woman-owned business. But
I think his wife owns the.
But he says he's the
business.
Yeah, exactly. But he says he's I know about this whole women-owned business thing, and it's a scheme. 90% of his money comes from federal contracts, and the woman-owned business thing, it's a ploy to get money at the expense of other people that don't have that designation. But he runs as a businessman, but he's not a businessman if it's his wife's business. So
I got to say, personally, just so you know, I have had dealings with his business, and I can tell you firsthand. His wife runs the business, and
then he should present it that way when he's running for politics. So what is his resume that he's running on if his wife runs the business?
I understand, but he's obviously a major part of the business. I'm not here to defend him, but in dealing with it, she does. You don't mess with his wife.
She told me that he was the businessman, so I'm just a little confused. But I'll be honest, I have an interesting situation. So my dad created a business, and he passed away when I was 7 years old. Turned it over to my mother when I was in high school or college. I don't remember exactly. She got an advisor that said, hey, look, you can designate the business as a woman-owned business, and you can win contracts more easily. And I actually told my mom, I was a young kid. I said, don't do that. That's called unfair competition. I said, that's unfair. You should win your accounts on the basis of your merits. That's not fair to other people. That's actually what's now called a DEI policy, which is totally against the ideals of the Republican Party. No real Republican would be designating themselves, whether you're a man or a woman. I don't like the designation woman-owned business because you're going after contracts on a gender basis, and it's not with the ideals of the Republican Party. So he can operate however he wants as a private citizen, but don't go running for a congressional seat when you're making max contributions to Democrats and designating your business using DEI concepts like women-owned business. But then he says he's the business guy, so it's a little strange.
Well, maybe you two sit down and you fight it out. I don't know.
I'm at 42% in the polls, and I never heard of him before.
The polls, to be fair, it's an inside poll. We normally in the media don't really. It's your poll. There is no district. Let me finish. Let me finish. There is no district-wide poll because the candidates are selected by the chair people in each county, Republican chairs. So even the commercials that you're running are giving you name recognition, but is it affecting how the chair people are going to vote?
It is a district-wide poll. It's a district-wide poll of voters in the 21st Congressional District, 2,300 respondents across.
I understand, but it's your poll.
Yes, so any candidate can run the exact same poll, and they'll get the exact same.
And I want
you
to
can run the poll. I can show you how to run the poll, and
you wouldn't have to show me how to do it. Trust me. But I will tell you this. We would not give the same credibility to any candidate's poll. It's not just you. It has nothing to do with
it's
just
ran
you.
by a third-party service, so anyone could hire a service to run the poll to get the exact same result.
I understand.
I can't tell voters who to pick. They picked me.
I understand. So
this is an interesting interview.
But at the end of it,
it's fun. Actually, I like the combative interviews. So
I want to.
Let's keep going.
Okay. So if you aren't selected,
sure,
will you run as an independent?
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't select me.
That's not my question.
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't select me. I only focus on one thing at a time. And so, actually, he's reached out to the president a few times about the situation. The president says, look, I got other priorities right now. He's not ready to weigh in on the race. I think he probably will weigh in at a certain point. But I'm sympathetic to the way the president views the world. I take everything a day at a time. Right now, my focus is on winning. And I took a different approach than anyone else, which I think speaks.
You spent a lot of money.
I also use my intellect very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying you spent a lot of money.
I spent some money.
Yeah. Which isn't a lot to you. You have a lot of money.
Sure.
Okay. If the chair people do not pick you, will you run as an independent?
It's not a question I thought about. I think they are going to pick me because I'm at 42% in the polls, and the voters like me because they saw my courage. See, I have a track record for doing things that the voters like.
Talk about if you will, talk about your disagreement that you had, and you stood up with the Trump sign. That was a very big story, and I think you had a lot of people in upstate New York, a lot of Trump supporters that were rooting for you in your battle against your hometown.
Yeah, I put up the vote for Trump sign, but before that, so this whole thing started, my entry into politics really started the moment the president was shot. So you say, like I spent money. What happened was the president got shot and he almost died. And I was like sitting on the sidelines and I said to myself, I'm going to speak up and endorse him. When people said, don't do that, you're going to lose a lot of money. I got a 1,200 person company. I do make a lot of money. And I said, look, this guy just almost gave his life fighting for what he believes in. If I can't at least risk a little money, it's ridiculous at this point. So as soon as he got shot, within a short amount of time, I had an endorsement written. I posted it. It went viral. I think it became one of the biggest endorsements of the campaign cycle. I was getting hundreds of thousands of emails a day. When I was canceled in 2016, I got tens of thousands of emails, but I was getting hundreds of thousands of hate mails a day, people telling me they wanted to kill me, people telling me to kill myself. It exploded on social media. So my entry into politics really was just saying, look, the president almost gave his life for what he believes in. The least I can do is risk a little money. So you're correct. I have spent a little bit of money, but my decision to spend money came out of the basis of seeing the president almost died. And I said the least I could do is spend some money to try to steer the country in the right direction. I was actually at an event recently, a Republican event, that one of the party bosses tried to ban me from, which was ridiculous behavior. And then people get up and they speak and they say, don't worry, we got great news, everybody. President Trump's going to save you. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I said, this is totally ridiculous. I said, President Trump's not going to save us. We have to fight for ourselves. And so I'm here fighting. I'm at 42% with the voters, I think, because they know me through my company. They know I'm a competent person. They saw what I did for the president with regards to my endorsement, with regards to my fight over the vote for Trump sign. And they like the fight, the fact that I have skin in the game, and I'm not asking for handouts. I actually built my company without taking any investment money except from a friend of mine. One friend gave me investment money. I don't like taking money from other people. I like spending my own money to do things. I don't want to be controlled. I always want to act in the best interest of other people. And so,
have you taken any donations for
No.
your none at all? And have you had? I know you have, but in the conversation, because you just told me like last night you were texting one of the chair people. So what conversations have you had with the chairman? What about the chairman in Oneida County? What about the chairman in Herkimer County? Those both carry some weight.
Yeah, so President Trump's one of the best negotiators in the world. I tell people that all the time. That's why I figured he'd be able to deliver peace. I created the Trump for Peace slogan that went viral. And President Trump actually learned negotiations. And the other candidates, I'm going to give them a free tip. They can look up a guy named Herb Cohn. He one of the best negotiators. He did the Iran hostage crisis.
I think most should be well aware of who he is.
Herb Cohn, they know him.
Yeah.
Really?
I would think.
Okay. I didn't know that many people. But anyways, if they want to look him up, he's got a great video on YouTube. Most negotiations happen when there's a deadline and the deadline's fast approaching. So, I took a different approach than everybody else. Everyone else has gone on behind the scenes and said, please pick me, please pick me, please pick me. I took my case to the voters, and, thus far it's been an effective strategy. I'm at 42% with the voters, which is, I think, has been an effective strategy. It's a display of my, my skills. Even though I've only been in this world for a short amount of time, I'm going up against people that have been doing this for a long time.
Back to the poll, you're the only candidate who has you've taken a different approach, right?
Correct.
You've decided to go to the people, as opposed to all of these other candidates are meeting behind the scenes with the individual chair people. That probably might skew the poll if the other people aren't even out publicly yet, waiting for Elise Stefanik to step down.
Well, the other people have been around for a long time, so they're
Okay.
known.
All right.
They've been around for a long time, so they're known. But,
Megan has a huge question. I know that your question about you. Do you?
The question about like right now we have, let's say we had a caller call in. Her name is Sue, and one of her primary concerns is that the DOJ cuts, especially what's coming on with the ruminations about what's happening with the VA. And we do have a VA here in Rome that employs a lot of people. So how are you going to balance the agenda of if you are elected into Elise Stefanik's seats, balancing what the president wants versus advocating for your constituents who might want something else?
Okay.
That's a great question. I would say simply like this. cuts often improve service. So people think cuts like reduce service because they say, well, the budget's going down, so service goes down. But like that's not the way it works in business. When you make cuts, sometimes service goes up because government's been around forever. The VA's been around forever. All these different, whether it's Department of Education, whatever the case may be, like all these government institutions have been around forever. And when you have an organization that's been around forever, there's some amount of incompetency that's crept in or bad performance that's crept in. And so cuts often improve performance. If you look at Elon Musk, he bought a company that used to be called Twitter. He fired, I think, 80 or 90% of the staff, and performance went up, and it became a better company called X. So cuts don't necessarily mean performance is going in a bad direction. Often it means cuts are going in a good direction. I think the president is the most patriotic president we've had, at least in my lifetime. One of the most, maybe, Ronald Reagan was up there too, but President Trump's one of the most patriotic people in the world today, and Elon Musk is a big patriot too, and they both want to take care of our veterans. So whatever they do, I think is going to be done with the best interest of veterans in mind.
What about the people who lost the jobs? They probably wouldn't look at it the same way.
Yeah, that's a great question too. I tell people all the time, I have to make cuts in business, and if you're keeping a person in a job that's not ideal for them, it's actually slightly inhumane to keep them there. Like what you want to do is be very generous with severance. I've noticed presidents already offered generous severance to a lot of people he's looking at cutting. So, you have to make cuts. I have a lot of empathy. The worst thing you can do is take away a job from a person. The best thing to do is give them generous severance, but you don't want to keep a person trapped in a job forever that they're not performing at. Give them generous severance and let them find.
Do you feel, though, that they make pretty broad cuts, right? They're really not interviewing people to see this person here is effective or not effective. It doesn't seem like it's been strategic in that way. In some of these cuts. Well, but beyond that, I have no sense in even answering that. But I would ask you, back to the chair people, have you had conversations? Which chairmen do you have on board that are planning to vote for you? And then I'll ask Megan's question that she forgot she was going to ask.
I think the other point you made is great. Look, Elon and President Trump are two of the smartest people in the world today. So, they're going to make cuts in a way that I think makes sense. With regards to the chairs, like I've spoken to all the chairs in terms of like who's going to vote in a certain way. Like those are private conversations. I hear people saying things all the time. I think the chairs respect that I'm not like floating things that aren't necessarily true. I hear other candidates that go on the air, they do interviews.
Has anyone committed? Has anyone committed?
Sure, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna,
right.
Sure.
And then finally, this was Megan's question, and I can't believe you didn't remember. It was the question: do you know when Elise is going to step down? We thought this was going to happen. I'm sure you did as well, a long time ago, and here we are. Still, is it going to be May, waiting for for another vote? What do you think?
I would say this, I'm very good at predicting things. So in 2016, I predicted the president was going to win. I put a $5,000 bet on him. I didn't make any bet in 2020. I made a massive bet with my reputation in 2024. I had no idea I was going to be running for Congress. I just wanted to put the country in the right direction. But I called that bet right. I even said landslide. If you look, I called that right.
So when's it coming?
We had the information that this was probably going to happen in April quite a while ago. So
okay, this month or next month, yeah,
possibly April, but we'll see. We'll see. Anything can happen. I don't believe in. Elon said a similar thing. I don't believe in certainties. It's more like percentage probability. So I would say 70% chance in April.
Okay. Finishing it up with Anthony Constantino. What else do you want? What else? I got about a minute.
A minute? Oh, boy.
That's it. What else do you
This is a fun interview.
Do you want people to know?
Well, you can go on my website. I have the most trafficked website. You can see all my policy ideas there. I'm the only one out with an agenda. I don't even think the other candidates have proposed an agenda. I heard, one of the candidates, Liz Joy, said she's been meeting 8 or 9 times with the chairs, but I don't know what she's taught. How do you have 8 or 9 meetings? What do you have to do in the 8th or 9th meeting? Yeah. You can't do on the 1st or 2nd. But the other candidates haven't put out an agenda. I think transparency is good. I think chairs want to see that I'm able to interact with voters and that voters respect me.
Have you spoken with Elise?
Oh, yeah. We actually, we've spoken. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
she's got your back, you feel?
Elise is going to do what she thinks makes sense.
Okay.
And, and I'm not going to speak on behalf of
anyone
anyone
else. I don't want you
else.
to think that I'm going to cut you off because I'm trying to cut you off. It is because in 15 seconds, Fox News takes it from us and we do news at the top of the hour. I hope you come back.
Oh, I would love to come back. This is one of my more fun interviews. So,
I hope so. I'm glad to hear that. So good luck, and we'll do this again.
All right. Thank you so much.
Anthony Constantino.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square media station.
Israel is waging war again in Gaza. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Israel will act against Hamas with increasing military intensity.
And they did overnight, just like Foreign Ministry spokesman Oren Marmerstein says.
Launching dozens of airstrikes throughout the Gaza Strip. Massive explosions rocked major population centers, including Gaza City, Khan Yunis, and Rafah.
Health officials in Gaza say more than 400 Palestinians have been killed, but Fox's Trey Yingst also reports from Tel Aviv.
Fox News cannot independently confirm the exact number. Among the dead are reported to be numerous senior Hamas officials, including Issam al-Da'alis, who was acting as one of the de facto leaders of Hamas. Funerals were held this morning for some of the dead. We know that many are civilians.
At some point this morning, maybe even now, President Trump expected to be on the phone with Russia's leader trying to end a different war.
We're getting down to a very critical stage, and we want to get the whole Russia-Ukraine thing done.
He's trying to get Vladimir Putin to agree to a ceasefire like Ukraine already has. A federal judge is expecting answers by noon from the Trump administration over the weekend deportations of alleged gang members in the U.S. illegally under the rarely used Alien Enemies Act of 1798.
The judge is frustrated that the Trump administration did not follow his order to turn the planes back around. As Democrats warn of a constitutional crisis, the White House argues the flights were already in international airspace, so they maintain the judge's ruling no longer applies. Attorneys for the Justice Department also say the judge's verbal order was not definitive, and they say the president was acting within his authority to address what they say are national security concerns.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. It's baseball season, and they just played the Major League opening game in Tokyo, where Japanese star Shohei Ohtani scored 2 of the Dodgers' runs in Los Angeles' 4-1 win over the Chicago Cubs. America's listening to Fox News.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or consumercellular.com today. Real people pay to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone. Oneida County Executive Anthony Picenti says the lawsuit against Governor Kathy Hochul's administration is moving forward. Hochul's executive order blocks the 2,000 corrections officers that participated in the 22-day wildcat strike from seeking new employment with other state entities. Picenti says the order is an overreach and that the governor doesn't have that kind of decision-making power. Picenti said the motion will be filed shortly and that he is looking forward to a resolution that ends with Oneida County filling much-needed vacancies within the county sheriffs and other departments. Tax season is in full swing and the Better Business Bureau is warning the public to beware of scammers. The latest scam involves a text claiming to be from the Internal Revenue Service that advises the recipient they qualify for a $1,400 check as part of the Economic Impact Payment Rebate. It also contains a link, but don't click it. The BBB says it leads to a fake but convincing IRS website designed to steal personal and financial information, often used for identity theft or fraud. Anyone eligible for the $1,400 stimulus check will receive it by mail, and the IRS will never ask for your personal information through text, email, or phone call. With the measles outbreak in Texas and New Mexico and isolated cases in 13 other states topping 300 cases,